Have you noticed bad behavior has become normalized at interscholastic athletic events? Some fans seem angry. They lack civility toward one another. Some even get aggressive and unruly. Time out! What is going on? This has to stop. Let's not forget, school sports aren't just about winning. And they're definitely not an excuse to take your frustrations out on the official or the opponent. They're about teaching lessons like perseverance, respect, and empathy, so students can learn and grow as people, not just as players. We all have a role to play in setting a good example for our students and teaching them these important values. So fans, it's time to step up your game and behave positively at interscholastic athletic events in Idaho.
This message presented by the IHSAA and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
Idaho's 529 can be used at any in-state or out-of-state 2- or 4-year college or university. Can be used at a trade school for an apprenticeship.
Whatever it is that your kid is interested in, that's available for them to use the fund.
I really like the flexibility. It gives Wild the opportunity to pursue a whole array of training.
So whatever your child's passion is, you can support that.
To learn more, go to idsaves.org.
So, what's next? Your path doesn't have to look like theirs. You can do this, or this, or this. Check out in-demand jobs in Idaho and get up to $8,000 to find your thing.
Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
May I offer you one of our finest selections? Delicious, rich in protein, and locally produced right here in Idaho. Excellent choice, sir.
Satisfied viewing customer, aisle 10.
Dad's home.
I'm home.
Did you get the good stuff?
He's bringing it up. He's going in. He scored!
It's that time.
And welcome to this IdahoSports.com GameStreams production of the 2025 Idaho High School Football Playoffs on the NFHS Network. This postseason broadcast is presented by Project Filter, your local Toyota dealership, Your Health Idaho, Next Steps Idaho, Ideal, Idaho's College Savings Plan, the Idaho Bowl, Valley-Wide Cooperative, and the Idaho Office of Highway Safety. Good evening, everyone, and welcome into this beautiful football complex here at Lewiston High School, the P1 FCU Athletic Complex. I am Ryan Skaggs, joined tonight for this broadcast by my partner in the booth, Mr. Tim Silflow. Coach, how are we doing this evening?
Great. Got a little quick trick-or-treating in with the kids, and
there we go.
Off to a nice warm press box up here.
Yeah, we got the heat on, and I was kind of joking with the Idaho sports crew, like, hey, it's a little too warm in here. I'm going to have to kick on the air conditioning. But, yeah, this first round of the Idaho State playoffs here at Lewiston High School, going to be a familiar foe. Lakeland taking on Lewiston. We're going to talk about that, but we're going to have to probably break for the national anthem here in just a second. But I don't know if you guys could see as we came in, the light show. This facility is something else if you haven't seen it. So welcome those of you watching statewide. If you're maybe somewhere else in the United States watching a relative in this ball game, going to be a whole lot of fun. We're going to take a quick commercial break. Be back after the national anthem here on IdahoSports.com.
It's that time again. Time to get the health insurance you need for next year.
Open enrollment is the time for you to enroll in, renew, or change your coverage. At Your Health Idaho, you can save money with a tax credit on the plan that's best for you and your family. Don't wait. Open enrollment ends December 15th. More coverage, less cost. Only at yourhealthidaho.org. Enroll by December 15th.
At Valleywide Cooperative, we're here when you need us. For 100 years, we have been here to help you with food, fuel, and good old-fashioned advice. And for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life, which is why we pour so much into the communities around us. We've employed hundreds of your neighbors. We take pride in that, and in giving back millions in sponsorships, grants, donations, and scholarships. It's our way of saying thanks. We're Valleywide, and yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
Once again, we have contributed to your ideal college savings program. Love, Grandma and Grandpa.
Ideal. Eventually, they'll appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you. I love it.
College costs money.
And we are back after the national anthem here on IdahoSports.com and the NFHS Network. Thank you for joining us for this broadcast. Once again, Ryan Skaggs joined by Coach Tim Silflo on the call for tonight's ball game between two familiar foes. This is the third time that they have seen each other in the last 7 days.
7 days, yeah. It's kind of hard to fathom, but you're right. 7 days, 3 times. That's familiar is the right word.
And how does that work? Well, of course, they played each other Friday night for the de facto league. It was going to be the championship game if Lewiston had won that game. Lakeland ended up spoiling the party, winning 42-17 in probably the most insane 2 minutes and 45 seconds of high school football in that fourth quarter that I've seen. It was 15-10 with 4:29 left, and the final score ended up being 42-17 Lakeland as they just poured it on in the last 4 minutes of that ball game, which forced, well, the Kansas tiebreaker that we had Monday night right here on IdahoSports.com, where Lewiston came away with the win in the fifth and penultimate matchup. It was a double elimination. Kansas tiebreak setup. Lewiston won the first matchup. Lakeland defeated Sandpoint. Lewiston defeated Sandpoint. They got eliminated. Then Lewiston and Lakeland went one more time because Lewiston beat Lakeland the first matchup. Lakeland wins the next matchup. So to force the final tiebreaker, Lewiston decides to go for two after Lakeland scored the touchdown on the opening drive. Lewiston goes for two on the score. And Mason Way from 1.5 yards out after the penalty ended up falling into the end zone. The referee gave him the 2-point conversion. There was a little contesting from different sides on whether or not he was actually in. But more than anything, you got to take care of business, not put yourself in that position. Lewiston did what they needed to do to be able to host this game tonight. Lewiston got seeded as the 8th seed. The last auto bid in as the champion of the IEL. Lakeland was the highest ranked non-champion that didn't get an auto bid, so they got put at the 9 seed. So here we stand. The winner will likely take on Hillcrest next week at Hillcrest. So that's going to be – there's a lot of – Lakeland wants a rematch with them real bad after what happened in the playoffs last year. Lewiston's looking to survive and advance to win this game, to move on out of the first round for the first time in quite a while. And this is a big matchup right here tonight.
Yeah, no, it is a big matchup. And going back to that Kansas City tiebreaker, I had a chance to talk to Coach Hobart last night on the phone, and I said, how tough of a decision was that to go for two? And he goes, when we got moved 1.5 yards closer, 100%. He goes, I almost was going to go for two anyway, and then we get the penalty, and he's like, no brainer. And it paid off. It was a big move for him, and it paid, and it got his Bengals right here where they wanted to be.
Yeah, and so I talked to Zane on Tuesday, and I was like, hey, Coach, 3-yard line, that's, you're kind of 50-50 territory. If you're going to go for two, like, were you going to go for it no matter what? And he's like, I was 80%. And he's like, we got the penalty in the end zone on the late hit. That pretty much, and he said the same thing. We were all on board going for two and going home and getting on the bus. We didn't want another round against them, and we didn't want to give them a chance. And, there were some wild plays even in that tiebreaker. So he was like, we want to just get on the bus and get away with a win. And so they went ahead and took care of business. So here we stand. Lakeland coming in, 1 loss on the year. 1 loss, Sandpoint 2 weeks ago on the road up at Barlow Stadium. The Bulldogs got a big victory in that game, 31-27 over Lakeland in a shootout. Lakeland got the win over Lewiston. Lewiston boat raced Sandpoint 2 weeks ago. They put them running, or 3 weeks ago, put a running clock on them in that ball game. Lewiston got a huge win over Sandpoint.
In Coach Hobart's words, that was an 8-man score. Is
Yeah.
what he texted me after the game.
He was absolutely right. Coach Hobart knows a thing or two about playoff football. He's got 4 straight state championships at Kendrick before taking this Lewiston job. He comes in, and this is like something he hasn't seen in a while, is having a record under 500 on the season. This is the most deceptive under 500 team you may see in Idaho. They played a absolutely rigorous schedule this year, playing Rigby at University of Montana in a neutral site, meet in the middle game. They played at Coeur d'Alene. They played at Columbia. That's a playoff team. Coeur d'Alene's a playoff team. They lost here, a tough one at home to Post Falls. That it's a game that they had turnovers in. I know they want that one back. They beat Sandpoint at home. They're 3-1 here.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big deal for them on turf this year. They're 3-1. When they played those grass games, and I was kind of saying something to the coach before, I'm like, to one of the assistants, and I'm like, is there kind of a little gremlin in your mind about playing on grass? He's like, I don't want to say anything, but you could ask the kids, and they'd probably say yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they're glad to be here. Let's just say that Lewiston is more than happy to play this game tonight against Lakeland in their home confines, because this has been a friendly place to the Bengals.
Well, and I think if you're a Lewiston fan, you've got to have some hope here that I know Zane's coming from an 8-man program, but you brought it up about all the playoff experience, and aside from the state championships, he was in the playoffs year after year. He knows what it takes to get a team ready. It doesn't matter if it's 11-man. It's playoff football. He knows what it takes. He's got that experience. I think they're in good hands here with his playoff background, and then just like you said, playing at home, they've got to be feeling pretty good about this.
Yeah, no, and he brought his pedigree of gritty defense, but also the explosive offense, and we've seen flashes of that with this Bengal team at times. And you give him more time with this coaching staff that he's developed around him as well. This is a program that is a sleeping giant, if you ask me.
No, you brought it. That his coaching staff is great. Frisbee defense is great. Podrasky, just really fantastic coaching staff.
So Sterling puts the toe into leather to start this one off, and coming up, Lewiston's going to get the ball and run it across the 38-yard line out of bounds. So kicking things off early, that was Blaze Hepburn on the return, the junior for the Bengals, who actually saw some time at quarterback this year just due to injuries. They had 3 different players play quarterback. They've had 4 different quarterbacks if you really look at it, because Way had his first stint, got hurt, and then came back from injury, and he's been running the show ever since for the Bengals. So Mason Way going to be in the shotgun to start things off, and Austin Top in the backfield with him. A little tight set here, and they're going to hand off Top, a little double reversal, a little flea flicker on first play of the game, and he's going to be sacked. That ball's out, and that might be recovered by Lakeland going out of bounds. We'll see the call, and I think it is going to be Lakeland football at the 20-yard line after the strip sack and the fumble.
Oh, and he had Michael Earl down the field 40 yards, absolutely wide open, too. If he'd had an extra half a second, I think you see a touchdown.
That was a phenomenal play back there for the Hawks. That was number 28, Cole Cooper, who didn't even play last year. And he made a costly penalty in that playoff on Monday night, that late hit in the end zone, and I think he just made up for it right here as Lakeland's going to get the ball first down at 10 inside the 20-yard line, ball to 19. So Hillman in the shotgun, turn around, handoff to Magni, the running back, over the right side, across the 15, and picks up a nice gain of 5 on first down for the junior running back for the Hawks.
As we were visiting before, I think we're going to see a pretty steady dose of that right there.
They like that right side of the offensive line. Well, I mean, he just likes to run him behind his own whole line, because this is a group that has been absolutely dynamite this year, has a Lakeland offensive front. Hueso and Steele, mainly two of the characters up front that have just been absolutely dynamos for the Hawks. A little bobbled transition there on the zone look, and then throwing the slant incomplete, so it'll bring up 3rd down and 5. He was looking for Jaron Yeager. That's one thing about Lakeland on offense you'll see, and I mentioned this last week. Just keep an eye on Hillman, how many times he's got to run back and forth between the sideline and the huddle.
I noticed that watching their last regular season game, and he's got to have a few hundred yards just running back and forth to get a play.
You would see him maybe tomorrow running the state cross-country meet just across the field. Hillman in the wishbone set. He's going to pass out in the flat. He's got the fullback across the 10, first down, inside the 5, and down near the goal line, down at the 3. Big pass play there on third down. Good for first and goal. This is a fun one. That was Emmett Rivadenaria. He is a freshman.
A freshman? Wow.
Fullback, and he is an absolute load.
You got to love a fullback. You don't see a lot of fullbacks anymore. That's a long lost position I love.
And that's a man's fullback, too, as they're going to go for here on first down. Tamagni near the goal line looking for the surge. He's close. And he is in. Touchdown, Lakeland. Draws first blood after the turnover. Gets the 3-yard touchdown run from Griffin Tamagni.
That's an impressive run by him. He's not a big running back, and he puts a lot of trust in that offensive line that he has, and you can see he's not afraid to lower his pads and try to create some physicality and get in the end zone.
So 4 plays, 19 yards, and the touchdown of the PAT is up and good. Lakeland is up early, 7-0. At the end of that drive, Lakeland gets a short field and finds their way into the end zone with 9:49 left here in the first quarter of play. Early on, Lakeland gets the turnover, gets the touchdown. So if you're Coach Hobart, I mean, you kind of got to calm things down, be like, hey, guys, we did that to ourselves. Chill out. Like, let's recoup and get after it.
Yeah, 100%. I don't think there's really anything too hurt right there. You give them short field position on a team that can, just punch it in with a couple of real strong runs and a quick pass to that fullback. And no, just keep them calm down and get down and match the score, and they'll be all right.
So last time, well, I should say one of the last few times, I mean, we saw this position right here. Lewiston ended up running one back for a touchdown. We got 88 for the Bengals back there, and I don't see an 88 on the roster. So Sterling, the kicker, kind of an interesting kickoff look here. Don't see teams do that much.
No.
Tim Anderson, the special teams coach for the Hawks, and the kick from Sterling is going to be fielded on the hop at the 11-yard line, bringing it up the field. And that's Wilkerson with it. He's going to be out towards the 25, and then he's going to be brought down by a host of Hawks. So it'll be first down at 10, and they're going to spot him 24-yard line for the Bengals. I want to thank our power boosters for tonight's ball game for the Bengals: Sochill Cryotherapy, Strom Electric, University Auto Sales, and A&B Foods. First down at 10. Lewiston at their own 24. Little shift in coverage. They're going to run the little bubble screen out there to the near side of Wilkerson. He's going to pick up about 3, maybe 4 on first down. Jace Taylor on the tackle for the Hawks.
I think this Lakeland defense is something that's pretty tricky to figure out. They only give up 9.5 points per game on the season so far. Coach Hobart was saying one of the nice things about playing them 3 times in 7 days is giving them extra time to try to figure out all the different looks and how they bring pressure out of each different look, and it's a puzzle to try to figure out.
Haynes was in motion there and incomplete, being run out of bounds by Cash Lund of the Hawks. It'll bring up third down and 7. who's looking for Yoder over here on the near side.
Yoder's a kid that Zane talked about too with me. If he's replacing Cal Robbins that went down against Lake City, and plays both ways. They really like him at defensive end, but he's getting a lot more reps now at tight end. He's hoping to have some good snaps out of him on both sides of the ball tonight.
So Earl Haynes and Wilkerson over to the far side. Wilkerson is the man in motion. They're going to hand off here on third down, going straight ahead. That's top, spun down, pick up of 3 on the carry. And it'll bring up fourth down. Sardina on the tackle for the Hawks. And the punt unit will come out for the Bengals. Snap is back, kick is up. Kind of a knuckleball going out there to Taylor back to receive. He's going to bring it up across the 40, looking for the sideline. He runs into a defender and ran out of bounds at the 46, maybe the 47 of Lakeland. So decent field position here again for Lakeland as they come out on offense. I want to thank our sponsors, Andy's Heating and Cooling. They understand the importance of a fully functioning and efficient air conditioning system. That's why their goal is to provide only the best services, coupled with great customer service, integrity, and honesty in every single one of their customers, serving all of North Idaho since 1974, I believe. Andy's is the name you can trust. Give them a call today, 208-772-4570. Also want to thank Sport Physical Therapy, proud supporter of Lewiston Athletics, and wants to wish the Bengals the best of luck tonight. With over 100 years of combined experience, the team at Sport Physical Therapy Clinic is committed to helping the patients heal and improve their physical health. They have 2 convenient locations in Lewiston, and their goal is to provide patients with individualized and excellent care in a friendly environment. And I can say as a former patient of theirs, they're great. They're one of my many knee surgeries. So they had holding on the punt on Lakeland, and that's going to be back to the Bengals and a first down. I don't know if I've ever seen that hold before the kick.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of explains why the officials were having such a long meeting there. I thought maybe they were just going to wave it off, and that's a big break for the Bengals here.
That is a first for me. I've never seen that. Okay. I'm glad they mic'd up the official for this game. So if you're not at home, can't hear it. Holding during the return on Lakeland. So a 10-yard penalty from the end spot, or from the spot of the foul. It's still Lakeland football on offense, not Lewiston football. As Hobart was probably as confused as we were regrouping his offense there. Les Schwab Tire in Rathdrum is a proud supporter of Lakeland High School football team. Snow season's right around the corner. Make some time to come on in and get your tires checked before it's too late. Les Schwab Tire, the best tire warranty in America. Go Hawks. So here comes Peyton Hillman back out in the shotgun. Griffin Tamagni in the backfield with him. And a little inside toss to Cash Lund, looking for the counter around the edge. He's got nice gain and then some. He's first down and still going. He's going to be knocked out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Huge gain on first down. And a great pickup from Cash Lund.
He's a explosive player. Just as you see right there, you kind of think maybe he's going to get taken down, and then he just kind of sneaks through and explodes for another 10, 15 yards.
And that was a gain of 21. So first down and 10 Lakeland in Lewiston territory just like that. You know these coaches are trying to get creative when you're seeing Cash Lund get a carry on the second drive of the game. Hillman's going to pass over to the near far side to Yager, who's got a nice gain on first down, pick up long 6, maybe 7. That will be a gain of 7 for Hillman. So second down to 3. Nice job of Lakeland getting ahead of the sticks here. Tamagni's going to run it. Cuts it back inside. A beautiful run and a first down, a pickup of 6.
We talked about his vision just before the game started, Ryan, and that's a good display of it right there. Just get through that hole and a great cut back to get him a few extra yards.
So first down and 10, fresh set of downs for the Hawks here as they continue to drive inside the 25-yard line now. I think both these teams are familiar with each other of what they can do inside the 25. Two receivers out to the left. It's Taylor and Yeager out there. Tight end to the right. Another cut by Tamagni. Makes something out of nothing as that line continues to surge and push. And an extra effort. It's going to be a huge gain. What was like a minimal gain of maybe 2 turned into a gain of 6. Like a rugby scrum.
Yeah.
Yeah, 6 yards on the carry for Tamagni. Second down and 4. Ball at the 17. You know, we talked about it, pregame. Lewiston's not going to be able to have their bigs go both ways all the time because they got gassed in the fourth quarter last week, and you see a little adjustment here is maybe a little slider off or defensive line for Lewiston on this series. And keeper from Hillman over the left side, nobody home. Great block around the corner into the end zone. Touchdown from 17 yards out for Peyton Hillman. So 2 touchdowns on the ground for the Hawks early on, and they are rolling 13-0 with 6:16 left in the first quarter. Sterling's kick is up, and it is through. So 14-0 Lakeland early in this one. I want to thank Northwest Paint and Auto Body for the best auto body services around, including collision repair, painting, and framework. Stop by 6220 East Commerce Loop in Post Falls. Give them a call, 208-664-6635. Northwest Paint and Body, proud supporters of Lakeland Athletics. Good luck, boys, from the folks at Northwest Paint and Body. So what'd you see so far? Lakeland's defenses came to play.
Yeah, Lakeland's defense came to play, and their offense is just, they're just motoring down. Their offensive line's getting big pushes, getting 5-6 yards every time, and then breaking one. And just got to see Lewiston's offense settle in here, and they got to match one of these scores here pretty quick.
Yeah, you put yourself in a 21-point hole or, 2-touchdown hole with Lakeland's defense, the way they're able to play. That's a pretty tall mountain to climb. We've seen Lewiston score quick. A pretty important drive early on here for the Bengals. Lakeland playing a little bit of an edge to them tonight compared to last week. They looked a little flat coming into the game. Kind of a skipping, driving kick there to start things off. And Hepburn's got it over the left side and runs it out of bounds. Nice return, gets it back up to about the 38-yard line. First down at 10 for the Bengals. They're going to give him the 40 where he was knocked out. First down at 10 for the Bengals. Lakeland, I think, learned their lesson kicking it deep last week when they got Earl returned the touchdown on them. They kept it short tonight.
Try to keep it out of his hands. I think that's a good decision on their part.
2 receivers to each side, top of the backfield with Way. They're going to give it the top straight ahead. Nice little seam there. And a good gain on first down pickup of 8 from Austin, top of the Bengals. So second down and short here. Really opens the playbook. Anything you want right here, Coach.
Yeah, no, you always love a second and short. You kind of take a chance here and give your, even if you have an incomplete, you get a short chance on third down.
Way surveying. He's going to have to roll to his left. He's still looking for someone, and he's going to have to run it out of bounds as he was chased out by the Lakeland defense.
I think that right there is kind of the biggest thing that I saw even from their last regular season matchup was Way just never gets any time to throw the ball. He drops back, and then he's got to scramble right away or make a real quick decision. And if they can slow down that Lakeland rush, give him some time, he's got some good receivers out there to target.
Nice pressure from Jack Steinborn. That was actually a loss of 3 on the play.
Probably almost would have been a little bit happier if he threw it out of bounds right there.
Way's going to roll. Pressure coming from Cash Lund, who puts it on him and throws it up and almost intercepted. It's going to be picked off the turf by Jace Taylor, but that will bring up 4th down. Huge pressure from Cash Lund on the blitz from the outside.
Be an interesting call here. It looks like they're bringing on the punt team. I thought maybe you might see him go for it here early, but
man, a turnover and 2 3-and-outs. Not what the doctor ordered for Lewiston early in this one, as they're going to be punting back over to Lakeland. Jace Taylor back to receive for the Hawks. Pressure came up the middle. Not a great punt. It's going to fall out of bounds, probably around the 30. That's where they'll spot it. I've watched some football this year. If I'm able to spot a punt right on.
It's always a tough call when that ball is kind of carrying at an angle out of bounds. I don't ever know how they actually figure out where it went, but
I think they just went to the even yard line.
I think you.
So 1st down and 10, the worst field position so far in the game for Lakeland. Hillman and company coming back out. You talk about the patience and vision of Griffin Tamagni. The thing is that he's got the big playability too, and it's a matter not if, it's when. There's that inside toss again. That's Cash Lund around the left side. And a pickup of 6, maybe 7 on 1st down. Two carries, 28 yards so far for Cash Lund. 2nd down and short. And thrown down the seam, almost intercepted by Hepburn. He was looking for Yeager, who had a step over the top. He just probably threw a little too flat of a ball right there.
That would have been a huge interception for Lewiston to slow down, get a decent field position back for you, but just right through his fingertips.
So 3rd down and short, 3rd and 3. I mean, if he puts more air in there, that could have been a touchdown too. Like, it was one of those 50-50 balls.
Yeah, he definitely had the DB beat.
The inside toss again. Lund around the corner. It worked twice. Why not try it a 3rd time? And not much there. Maybe a gain of 2 this time. It'll be just short and probably close to a 4th down. They're not going to get too generous of a spot, I don't think. But maybe not.
Ooh.
Boy, he got the extra.
Wow.
They gave him the 1st in the yard line there. So the full 3 for Lund. There was no trick there. That was all treat.
Yeah, I honestly did not. I thought they had him a yard or 2 short, but.
So 1st down and 10, fresh set of downs for the Hawks. Siler Bauer here to the near side. They're going to hand off to Magni up top. And he's going to be stalled up at the line of scrimmage, maybe a gain of 6 inches. So 2nd and 9. 3:45 and counting left here in the first. Lakeland's really been able to take the crowd out of this one early, too.
Mm-hmm. It's been pretty quiet.
Tamagni's going to motion out wide, and they're going to pass to Taylor on the screen look, and nothing there. Stalls out. It's going to be 3rd down and long after no gain. So 3rd and long for the Hawks. I'd be surprised to see Lewiston dial up some pressure here from Coach Frisbee and his defense. And all Lewiston coaching staff, too. They're all Lewiston alums.
Mm-hmm. I thought that was pretty neat. That's a
bringing back
fun group.
The greatness from years past. Little swing pass out here to Tamagni. Nothing doing, and he's going to lose on the play. A loss of 3. Lewiston sniffed that one out. That was a great defensive effort there from Jaden Whitman on the tackle for loss. Yoder was in on that play as well for Lewiston.
I have a feeling they might have seen that play in film session over the last few times they've played these guys.
So the punt, kind of a high wobbler. It's going to take a nice Lakeland bounce inside the 15 down to the 11. That may have hit a Lakeland player right around the 22, though, but I don't know if the official saw that or not, but I mean, I'm pretty certain that hit a Lakeland player right around the 20-yard line.
Yeah, it kind of took a odd hop, and it didn't look like it was a hop off the turf. I think you're right. I think it did hit him.
I think the officials are talking about it. And they're going to stick with the call. I mean, we get the privilege of seeing it from up here, but you don't have 22 kids between us and the football. So 1st and 10, Way in the shotgun. 2 backs back there with him. He's going to hand off on 1st down. And picking his way for a gain of close to 4 yards was Austin Top. Sardina on the tackle for Lakeland. I'll bring up 2nd and 6. Single back in the backfield is Top. Wilkerson in motion. Way's going to survey, throws it underneath the Wilkerson on the slant. He's got himself in space. He's got some speed to go. Across the 45, and that ball may have came out right at the end. And there is a scrum for the football, and that is Lakeland football. Lewiston gets a huge gain, and Wilkerson loses it at the end.
Oh, that's just a terrible break for them. You finally get a great catch and run there, and
that was a gain of 29 from Wilkerson, and then the fumble at the end. And Lakeland's going to be back on offense again. Once again in Lewiston territory. Hillman surveying. He's got Lund in space. Lund up the middle of the field, across the 30 to the 25, and that ball came out. What in the world? It was like the exact same play. A 27-yard gain ends up in a turnover for the Bengals. And there is a down player on the field for the Bengals. What a crazy turn of events.
These two teams, they like this dramatic football, I guess, don't they?
No kidding.
Giving the fans their money was worth. I can't tell who's down with the injury from Lewiston.
I think it was one of the guys in the secondary. I'm trying to see. They're looking at his right ankle. Still 54 seconds left here in the opening quarter. I mean, it feels like we've played a full half in this one quarter.
It does feel that way.
3 turnovers. I mean, it's just been a wild turn of events. 3 turnovers, 3 collective punts, 2 touchdowns. That is, I think, Jimmy Woody, the linebacker for Lewiston, that is, who's being helped off the field. That'd be a big loss. He's their right outside linebacker. Great coverage guy for the Bengals as well. So Bengal ball after the turnover from Cash Lund on the fumble at the end of that play. The exact same route from both teams. I mean, it was like mirroring each other.
It was, yeah. Just a quick little slant right through the middle of the field. And
both over 25-yard gains that both turn into turnovers. First down at 10, Lewiston football at the 22. .54 seconds left here in the opening frame. I guess that's a baseball stance, but yeah, first quarter. Wilkerson in motion around the back of that offense. They're going to keep it and run the option here. And Way is going to be brought down, maybe a gain of 1, maybe a half yard there on first down. He was thinking about pitching there, and that would have been dangerous if he did, because Cash Lund was between the ball and the quarterback.
It really looked like he was just about ready to throw that thing out there, and I'm glad he didn't.
So 1 yard gain for Mason Way, the quarterback on the keeper there on the option. 2 carries, minus 2 yards for Way. He'll get him back. He can pick him up and put him down. Yoder in motion here. He's going to drop back. Way is looking his direction and overshoots his intended target. He was looking for Wilkerson. That was not a catchable ball. I think that's where that contact was just incidental. The feet got tied up.
Well, it even looked like kind of contacted after the ball was even already over his head. And
Lewiston fans are letting the officials know. It's 3rd down and long here. 4 seconds left in the opening quarter. You're on a bit of a brisk Halloween evening. Nice contingent of Lakeland fans across the way that made their way down from Rathdrum. Way's going to drop back. Look, pressure coming up the middle, and he's going to have to throw it right into the hands of the Lakeland defender. Down the sideline and close to the 20-yard line. An interception from Mason Way. I'm trying to get a number over there on the other side. That may have been Siler Bauer on the INT. So that's the end of the first quarter of play. Lakeland is ahead 14-0 after another turnover. These guys are trading them like Halloween candy. We're going to take a quick 30-second break. We'll be back with more here on IdahoSports.com, the NFHS network.
It's that time.
Every time that we get in the car, number 1, buckle up. Number 2, no phones. And number 3, pay attention to your surroundings.
If I got in the car with my friends, I would definitely tell them to put their seatbelts on. I want to be able to get back home safely.
And we're back for the start of the second quarter of play. Lakeland leads 14-0 here on IdahoSports.com. as Lakeland's going to have the football. First down at the 21-yard line. Peyton Hillman in the shotgun. Tamagni in the backfield with him. We'll shift here from the Hawks. And they're going to keep it back to the strong side with Hillman. He's going to put a nice gain here on first down, pickup of 6. Something we talked about pregame is Hillman is deceptively a good runner. He's already got a touchdown in a game of 17 yards. Picks up 6 yards there.
Well, and what I've seen too when he runs is when he starts getting downfield, he's not afraid to lower his pads and try to run somebody over and get a couple extra. He's a good-sized quarterback.
Yeah, he's got a nice frame on him. Hillman under center this time. They're going to run toss out to the right side. Tamagni cuts it back inside into the end zone. Touchdown, Lakeland. 15 yards from Griffin Tamagni for the touchdown.
I'm really impressed with how good of a runner he is. His vision and being able to just make those really quick cuts back in that second level, it's impressive to watch him.
2 touchdowns in the game already for Griffin Tamagni as the kick is up and through from Sterling. So 21-0 lead for Lakeland here at the start of the second quarter. Just 2 plays in and they reach pay dirt. And this is turning into a nightmare for the Bengals. And talking about Hillman real quick, I ran into his parents out in the parking lot as I was coming back in from running out to the truck to grab more gear. And we got talking about Peyton and his like temperament. And I just said, I was like, does he ever show emotion? Like, what type of kid is he really? And his mom was like, his mom Tina's great too. She's like, no. Like, just very plainly, like, he's even keeled. Like, he doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low. And I'm like, I mean, that has to pay off for him at some point because he played quarterback his sophomore year. I remember watching him. He filled in after an injury to Benson, and he stepped in and played Post Falls, who was the IEL champion that year. Very good team. As a sophomore, walks in and he just like didn't show any emotion the entire game, and he still has the same demeanor now as a senior as the signal caller.
I think that's great if you, especially in a quarterback role where you kind of you're kind of the leader of the team, and you don't want to get your guys too far down or too far up when you don't need them to be, and keep cool, calm, and collected in the pocket, right?
Yeah, and he commands the team. I think having that calming presence back there, quarterback for this Lakeland team, has been a real difference maker in a lot of the success.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure it would be.
And a dribbling kick up the middle. That ball is still alive. Finally going to be picked up by Hepburn once again. And the junior runs it across the 30 and close to the 33-yard line is where Lewiston's going to start on offense. So can we see Lewiston finally get off the schneid here and find their way into the end zone with 11:14 left here in the second quarter?
Hey, you kind of get that feeling if they don't score here pretty quick and then get a defensive stop, that it could maybe start sneaking away from them a little bit.
I want to thank Lewiston's Power Booster, So Chill Cryotherapy, Strom Electric, University Auto Sales, and A&B Foods. Way in the shotgun. Austin Top next to him at running back. Earl in motion this time across the formation. And they're going to throw it to Earl, who snags it, and he's going to pick it up right at close to the line of scrimmage, maybe a gain of 1. And great defense out there, but from Siler Bauer of the Hawks. First catch of the game from Earl. When he played Lewiston last week, when they played Lakeland last week, he had over 125 yards receiving for the Bengals, including a long touchdown. So 2nd down and 9. Then you also have the kick return for a touchdown too. He's one of those players you want to get the ball in his hands. Yeah. They're going to hand it off to Top here, who's met close to the line of scrimmage, maybe a gain of 1 on 2nd down. Been tough sledding for this Bengal offense against this Lakeland defense that you mentioned, 9.5 points per game. They were under 6 points per game before last week's game.
Well, that was one of the biggest things that Coach Hobart talked about was, keys to victory, playing physical, and then just trying to slow down this Lakeland defense. He gave that defense a lot of credit.
Yeah, so timeout after they broke the huddle with only 10 players. So Lewiston's going to have to take a timeout. Thank our sponsor, Sport Physical Therapy, proud supporter of Lewiston Athletics, and wants to wish the Bengals the best of luck tonight. With over 100 years of combined experience, the team at Sport Physical Therapy Clinic is committed to helping patients heal and improve their physical health. They have 2 convenient locations in Lewiston, and their goal is to provide patients with individualized, excellent care in a friendly environment. I want to thank Andy's Heating and Cooling. They understand the importance of fully functioning and efficient air conditioning system. That's why their goal is to provide only the best services coupled with great customer service, integrity, and honesty to every one of their customers, serving all of North Idaho for over 50 years. Andy's is the name you can trust. Give them a call today, 208-772-4570. Thank our sponsors for these playoff broadcasts, making these things available to you on IdahoSports.com and a new platform, the NFHS Network. So 3rd down and long here. Way in the shotgun, Top in the backfield with him. 2 receivers to the offensive left as Top's going to motion out into an empty set. They're going to throw. Top is all alone down the sideline. He's going to coast on into the end zone. 10-5, touchdown Lewiston. 63 yards from Mason Way to Austin Top for the touchdown. That was just a fullback or a halfback leak right there. And he went unchecked and into the end zone for the Bengals. And there's the touchdown that Lewiston needed. "63-yard touchdown reception for the Bengal touchdown."
They needed that badly.
And the kick from Earl is up and through. So back to a 14-point lead.
Now you just hope that transfers over to your defense and keeps everybody fired up and get a stop here, and then they're right back in this game.
How does Lakeland respond to the Lewiston big play ability? And we talked about it. Like, Lewiston's got the ability to take the top off this ball game. They've got the athletes.
Mm-hmm. A play like that can get the jitters out if there are some. And that was one thing I asked Zane. I said, how many of these kids have playoff experience? And he thought maybe only about 4 or 5 from last year's team that got any experience. So it's new to him, and it's different. Playoff football's a little bit different. It has a different feel and a lot more on the line.
That is one thing, too. I mean, Lewiston had a ton of seniors last year. As players forgot that we're in the second quarter, and we had to swap hands.
Yeah, that was one question I didn't ask Zane, was how many seniors Lewiston did lose.
Yeah, it was a lot. I remember I did senior night last year, and it took a good almost 20 minutes to go through all the kids. It was a pretty substantial amount. I know they lost every single skill position player from last year's team. So a little bit of a shorter kick. It's going to hit at the 20. That ball's still alive and on the ground as Lakeland finally falls on it at the 10-yard line.
I tell you what, I thought Lewiston was going to get a chance to pounce on that.
They had one.
The ball just kind of seemed to just bounce down there forever before Lakeland player fell on it.
Yeah, the oblong ball that takes funny bounces. It just kept, every time Lukey went after that ball, it seemed like it would go the opposite direction. It was almost comical. As a returner, your blood pressure spikes pretty darn quick, though.
It sure did.
Go change your shorts. So 21-7 lead for the Hawks. They're going to get the ball back here. They got to go 89 yards with 10:14 left here in the second quarter of play. Kind of an interesting formation here, going to the short side with the trips. And then you're going to shift. Probably zone. Nope, they're going to throw back to the near side to Yeager. Runs through an ankle tackle and gets a nice gain on first down. Going to pick up about 8 there.
Saw that shift against Lewiston in that last regular season game a lot, and I didn't see a lot of that screen, though, back away from it. So that's kind of a new wrinkle.
So second down is short. Thought they were going to run the zone to the wide side, and that was a nice little wrinkle added to it, kind of running that short screen. So 2 fullbacks in. Power I, turnaround handoff to Magni straight ahead. And he gets the line to gain. He's going to have enough for the first down to pick up a 3. So fresh set of downs coming up for the Hawks here. $9:15 and counting. This beautiful P1FCU athletic complex. Part of this brand new Lewiston High School. It was opened its doors, I believe it was last year.
Yeah, what an amazing place.
Hillman's going to pass it out over the far side. And a gain of 5. I mean, that was almost like a run play. That was to Jace Taylor.
You don't see Lakeland take a whole lot of real big shots down the field from what I see so far.
So score update from North Idaho. Bonners Ferry at the half is leading 14-13 over American Falls. I said it. Like Bonners Ferry, don't be surprised. I think they got, I mean, yeah, they're the 12 seed, but people are going to sleep on them. That's a better team than their seed line for sure. Especially that running game with Keenan Moss. He is an absolute freak.
And they had to travel down, correct?
Yep, they sure did. So Hillman's going to keep it this time, and he's going to lose yardage. Nice tackle for loss out there from the Bengals. And a loss of 2. That was a good tackle out there by Tripp Eckert.
That's a tough task to travel from Bonners Ferry to American Falls. Bonners Ferry is close to nothing in southern Idaho.
Can't really go any further from like anywhere in Idaho from Bonners Ferry is like as far as you can get.
Yeah.
How far away can we go? Canada.
Canada is correct, yes.
So we got a timeout on the field. Lakeland's going to have to think about this one on 3rd down and long now. It was 3rd and short. I want to thank our friends. Check out Northwest Paint and Body. For the best auto body services around, including collision repair, painting, and framework, stop at 6220 East Commerce Loop in Post Falls, or give them a call, 208-664-6635. Northwest Paint Body, proud supporters of Lakeland Athletics. Good luck, boys. And I will say this as somebody that also works in the insurance industry. They do phenomenal work. Yeah. So thank them for being sponsors of high school athletics. At halftime, we'll have some stats for you. We'll have scores from around the state of Idaho as a number of games have gone final in the lower rankings, and then we've got a bunch of 5A and 6A games going on right now in the first round that we're all keeping an eye on. 7:24 left before the half. Coming out of the timeout here. Crowd's starting to get into it a little bit now. Third and long, 2 receivers out to the right, single receiver to the left. Tamagni's going to leak out of the backfield, and they're going to throw to Cash Lund. He's going to get upended, only a gain of 3 on the reception. That's going to be short of the line to gain by a couple yards. They'll bring up 4th down.
Yeah, that was a big stop for Lewiston. That is something they really, really needed here to keep giving this defense a little bit of confidence.
So Lakeland's going to come out and punt here, one would assume. Hillman also doing the punting duties. A little bit of a high snap there. Hillman's able to grab it, but not a great kick. It's going to be off the side of his foot and hit out the 50 and stay in Lakeland territory. Lewiston's going to get a good field position here. Ball at the 49-yard line. Well, Lewiston got the 63-yarder from way to top the last time around, and Coach Hobart's been opening the playbook up. We'll see if they take a shot here on first down with good field position.
My gut tells me you've got to come away with points, and you get this really good. You get a stop, good field position. You've got to come away with some kind of points in this drive.
Especially if you can cut it to a one-possession game at the half. Looked to be like a Lakeland blowout's turning into a bit of a game here. Lewiston's got it. They're going to run option double pass here. It's going to be a halfback pass, a dime out to Earl inside the 10, down to the 8. What a throw from Austin Top. I mean, that thing was as pretty a ball as we've seen tonight.
Might have a quarterback controversy on our hands now at Lewiston. That was a fantastic throw. At
43 yards from Top.
And I got to apologize to everybody. That caught me so off guard. I didn't quite get the camera down there in time, but yeah, what an amazing throw. He just dropped it right in there.
So first down and goal. Lewiston with it at the 7. And Way's going to try to keep it here. Lakeland, second effort from Way, gets him inside the 5. Thought Lakeland was going to have him at the line of scrimmage, and kind of a little stutter from Way ended up picking up a couple yards. Bodak on the tackle for the Hawks. But yeah, Top's like, hey, Coach, I know we played 2 other quarterbacks this year. How come you never called my number?
Okay, yeah. When he first let go of that, I thought, oh, my gosh, there was a couple of DBs down there, and that ball just kept going.
Yeah, and Earl snagged that thing out of the air at the last minute, got the mitts out on it. Top's going to carry it this time. And he's going to be brought down after a gain of 2. He's still short of the goal line. Third down and goal. Ball at the 2. Probably about the 2.5-yard line. It's right in the middle of the field. 2 backs back there. Sawyer, Casey, and Top in the backfield with Way. And they're going to hand off Top again. Straight ahead. Nothing doing. Sniffed out. Nice defensive stand from Lakeland there to force 4th down. That was Jack Steinborn in there, the defensive end. Also in there was big number 66. That was Patterson, Jackson Patterson for the Hawks. The nose, and a timeout coming from Lewiston here on 4th down. I think it was a loss of 1.
Yeah. I really anticipated a timeout here. There's a big decision here to make for Lewiston. Do you come away with some points, or do you try to punch one in, and if you don't get it, you keep Lakeland, at the 3-yard line?
Lewiston just lost one of their offensive linemen, Lucas West. He's going to head to the table, favoring that left arm. So putting in a fresh offensive lineman out there in an interesting spot.
Could sway a decision one way or another.
Maybe. I don't see the kicker out there. I mean, the kicker's Earl.
Okay.
Who also plays wide receiver, but they are 100%
looks like they're
going
go for it. Yeah.
Knowing Zane, I mean, we've watched a ton of his games over the years. He likes to roll the dice.
No, he's bold. He especially in a situation like this. I mean, this could be a huge difference maker if they get this.
So 4th and 3, ball at the 3-yard line, 4th and goal. Way has a man, and pass interference in the end zone by Siler Bauer, intended for Haynes on the slant. And a fresh set of downs coming up in half the distance to the goal for Lewiston. Got some company in the booth with us now. Ty kept busy man today, calling a game. Had practice this morning. Now you're hanging out with us. What are you doing? You should be in bed. So first down and goal, fresh set of downs for Lewiston. Nope. Thought it would be an automatic first down, but.
Oh, I thought it would have been too.
So fourth down, we're going to go again, half the distance to the goal. And we're going to get a timeout from Lakeland this time. Final from up north, Wallace beat Salmon River 64-58. It's from the 1A ranks. So 4:13 left here in the second quarter. I mean, I know what Lewiston ran the last time they were in this situation, literally same yard line. They ran quarterback power to the right side, and they were able to punch it in to force this playoff game to be here in Lewiston.
A little deja vu coming back for you.
I mean, like, yeah. It's just history repeating itself, right? I mean, like, we've had 2 turnovers that were the exact same play, had the exact same result and same yardage. One ran by the other, same team. You know, it's like Lewiston throws a slant for 28 and a turnover, and then Lakeland throws a slant for 28 and turnover on the very next play. So here we go, fourth down, goal from the 1.5 yard line. And they're going to hand off Casey straight ahead into the end zone. Touchdown Bengals. Sawyer Casey from 1.5 yards out. Finds Pater. Lewiston's making this one interesting. So waiting the point after. High snap brought down, but kick is up and it is through from Earl. So 21-14 Lewiston making this one interesting. 14 unanswered points from the Bengals with 4:09 left here in the second quarter of play. We're going to take a quick 30-second break. We'll be back with more here on IdahoSports.com.
It's that time at Idaho.org. Enroll by December 15th.
Every time that we get in the car, number 1, buckle up. Number 2, no phones. And number 3, pay attention to your surroundings.
If I got in the car with my friends, I would definitely tell them to put their seatbelts on. I want to be able to get back home safely.
And we're back after the timeout. 7-point ball game, 21-14. Lakeland still leads. They went out, jumped out to that big lead, and Lewiston's chipping away now. Touchdowns on consecutive drives.
Yeah, the biggest thing now for Lewiston, keep that momentum on your side. Don't give Lakeland something to go into halftime with.
Kick down towards the goal line, and Lakeland's going to have to come back away with it. And running into his own man and brought down at the 15-yard line. Not great field position. Actually, they're going to spot him, I think. Yeah, they did give him the 15. That was Trent Boardman, somebody that we don't see very often out there for Lakeland, back to return. So Peyton Hillman's going to come back out. Griffin Tamagni in the backfield with him.
Well, they got a lot of time here to work down the field and maybe try not to score too quick.
They're going to hand off to Magni. He's trying to use his vision, and he's going to be wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. Nothing there. No gain on the play. So it'll bring up second down to 10. The only carry for no gain or a loss on the night for Tamagni so far. 2nd and 10. He did have a catch for a loss. So 3:24 and counting left here in the first half. Hillman surveying, throws out to the right, has a man. Nice catch from Cash Lund, and a gain of 16 in the first down. He has been clutch for the Hawks in the passing game.
Well, and you were kind of saying before the game, is usually you call his name on defense, not so much on offense.
Bunch set, little inside pitch there. The shovel pass to Taylor around the right side. Pickup of a couple before he's ran out of bounds. And they had him down inbound, so that clock will continue to run with 2:30 and counting. Lakeland sure likes to take their time on the play call. Get themselves set. Trips to the left side. Hillman surveying. Screen underneath to Taylor. He's got a nice block, and he's got the inside, and he's close to midfield, and a nice gain on first down. Sorry, on second down. That'll bring up a first down. Pickup of 17.
That was a nice play call there by Lakeland.
And the no huddle here. And a pass again to Taylor. On first down, a pickup of 8. Still going no huddle here, 1:30 left. 1 timeout for each team. Hillman dropping back, surveying. He's going to throw the long out route over his intended receiver, looking for Cash Lund. He'll go incomplete.
Now for Lakeland in a situation like this, I think I heard you say this last game. They've got a kicker that maybe like 45 yards is comfortable.
Yep, Sterling. So 3rd down and short. And they're going to keep it with Hillman this time. Looks to fake the pitch, and he's going to keep on trucking towards the goal line. He's inside the 25, down to the 21. A huge gain on 3rd down and short.
He just kind of put his head down, kept his legs churning, and next thing you know, he just kind of pops out, gets another 5-6 yards.
Gain of 20. Here we go to the no huddle, and that's going to be pickup of about 5 over there with 4 under a minute left to play here in the first half. That was Sardina. Hillman once again dropping back. He's going to pass, and it's high, almost intercepted.
Yeah, he'd like to have that chance back again.
So the clock will stop on the incompletion. We got a flag on the play. And that's an illegal block, so that'll be a big loss there. So 36 seconds left here in the opening half. It'll bring up 2nd down and long. Go on 2nd 14. Hillman looking, rolling to his right. He's going to throw it off his back foot, jump ball into the end zone. And that was intercepted by the Bengals in the end zone. So Lewiston forces the turnover as Lakeland threatened late in the first half. They're going to get the ball at the 20-yard line with 27 seconds left. That was a throw I don't think Hillman needed to make.
No, I agree. I think you just throw that out of bounds, and especially if you got a field goal kicker that can kick it that far. I mean, try to come out of there with some points at least.
Could have just cut it in half or try to put it in the middle of the field and then roll Sterling out for a field goal. That's why we're sitting in the booth, not on the sidelines. But Hillman with the INT.
Now I kind of wonder here if Lewiston take a shot at it or
100%.
I agree.
If you can equalize it going into the half, I mean, you've played yourself out of a hole. You got a new ball game. Way's going to roll. He's got some space. He's going to tuck it and run. And he's still looking, and he's going to take a shot, kind of lets up. I don't know what he was doing there, but he kind of set himself up to get drilled. 14 seconds and counting here as the clock's continuing to wind down and pick up a 5 from Way. And that's going to be the last play of the first half. So at the end of 2, Lakeland leads 21-14 over the Bengals. We're going to take a halftime break. We'll be back in about 4 minutes with some stats and scores from around the state of Idaho. So stay tuned for an exciting second half of play coming up. You're watching Idaho High School 5A playoffs here on IdahoSports.com and NFHS Network.
Have you noticed bad behavior has become normalized at interscholastic athletic events? Some fans seem angry. They lack civility toward one another. Some even get aggressive and unruly. Time out! What is going on? This has to stop. Let's not forget, school sports aren't just about winning. And they're definitely not an excuse to take your frustrations out on the official or the opponent. They're about teaching lessons like perseverance, respect, and empathy, so students can learn and grow as people, not just as players. We all have a role to play in setting a good example for our students and teaching them these important values. So fans, it's time to step up your game and behave positively at interscholastic athletic events in Idaho.
This message presented by the IHSAA and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
Idaho's 529 can be used at any in-state or out-of-state 2- or 4-year college or university. Can be used at a trade school for an apprenticeship.
Whatever it is that your kid is interested in, that's available for them to use the fund.
I really like the flexibility. It gives Wild the opportunity to pursue a whole array of training.
So whatever your child's passion is, you can support that.
To learn more, go to idsaves.org.
So, what's next? Your path doesn't have to look like theirs. You can do this, or this, or this. Check out in-demand jobs in Idaho and get up to $8,000 to find your thing.
Il me semble que ce matin le soleil peine à colorer le ciel. Voudrais prolonger les vacances.
Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
It's that
And we're back here at halftime. Lakeland leads 21-14 over the Bengals. What turned out, it was looking like it had the makings of an absolute blowout. Lakeland was up big, 21-0, and Lewiston scored 14 unanswered in the second quarter. And it's just a one-possession game. And Lakeland's going to get the ball coming out of half, too, I think is another big point of order to notice there. As Lewiston turned it over on the opening series, I think it was the first play of the game. They fumbled it on the strip sack. So, some stats coming out of the first half of play. First, we'll start with the visiting Lakeland Hawks. Hillman passing is 11 of 15 for 91 yards with an interception. Taylor has 4 receptions, 30 yards. Cash Lund, 3 receptions, 46 yards. Yeager, 2 receptions for 15. Rivadenaria, the freshman, 1 reception, 13 yards. And then Tamagni's got 1 reception for -3 on that screenplay that got kind of blown up. Tamagni rushing so far in the ballgame, 8 carries, 39 yards, 2 touchdowns for the Hawks. Hillman, 4 carries, 39 yards, and a touchdown. Cash Lund has 3 carries, 31 yards. Taylor, 1 carry for 2 yards. And Sardina has a carry for 5 yards as well for Lakeland. That is the offensive stats for the Hawks. For Lewiston, let's first start with the rushing attack. Way, 3 carries, 3 yards. Austin Top has 6 carries for 18 yards. And Sawyer Casey, 1 carry for 2 yards and a touchdown for the Bengals. And in the passing game, Mason Way, 5 of 7, 95 yards and a touchdown. He does have the 1 fumble. Austin Top, 1 pass, 43 yards. That was a huge one to Earl. Earl with 2 receptions, 49 yards. 2 receptions from Wilkerson for 32. He has a fumble as well. Haynes was targeted in the end zone, but it went on the PI call down here on this right end. And then Top has 1 reception, 63 yards, and a touchdown for the Bengals. Leading yardage getter for Lewiston, both passing and receiving and rushing. I mean, you kind of total it. He's doing in 3 different phases of offense, so not a bad showing for the Bengals and Zane Hobart's offense. So we stand 21-14 at the half. Some scores from around the state starting to pop up. We're starting to get some people opening their eyes a little bit because I know that we announced that Bonners Ferry scores. Bonners was ahead at halftime. Now they trail 28-21 in the fourth quarter. Snake River up on Gooding, 34-21. This is in 4A football. And then Buell final 45-19 over McCall Donnelly. We'll go into 6A ranks. Madison leads Boise 17-14 in the third. Middleton all over Capital in the third, 57-28. Mountain View blanking Highland right now in the third quarter, 42-0. And Owyhee getting clobbered by Rocky Mountain, 31-8. That one's in the fourth quarter. In 5A, well, things are going to get interesting. Skyline leading Bonneville, 42-21. That one's gone final. Bishop Kelly beat Emmett, 56-14. Century beating Columbia, 42-21. The Diamondbacks' dream season continues to look like it's going to roll on into the quarterfinals as they are currently beating the Wildcats. Hillcrest all over Shelley, 42-7. Sandpoint leading Minico, 21-18. That one's in the third. Twin Falls blanking Ridgeview, 38-0, and Blackfoot beating Valley View right now down in Caldwell, 24-13. Do some scores from 2A. Kind of jump around a little bit. Prairie, this is one with Ty, who's in the booth with us. Ty Kep was on the call for. 50-44, Prairie wins over Valley. Kamei all over Glens Ferry, 86-22. Logos clobbering Oakley right now, 56-6. And Hagerman leading on Potlatch, 50-12. We'll go to 3A, kind of jumping around here. New Plymouth beating Declo. This is a surpriser. I think everybody was picking Declo in this one. New Plymouth, the Pilgrims ahead on Declo in the fourth quarter, 24-14. And then North Fremont and Firth nodded at 12 in that one. Some surprising scores. And we'll go to 1A. Wallace beat Salmon River, 64-58 in a shootout. Garden Valley all over Chalice right now, 32-0. And then no score from up the road in Genesee as they play Timberline. So we're waiting on a score on that one. So that's your scores from around the state. Some stats in this one. Any takeaways from the first half, Coach?
I mean, like you said, it started shaping up like there was going to be kind of a blowout on our hands, and then Lewiston kind of settled in and got a score and got a stop and another score, and it just teams kind of traded turnovers there for a while, and now it's just I think they just got to continue to keep building on the success they had in that first half, both teams, and right there before halftime, Lakeland was marching down the field, looked like they were going to at least either score or get a field goal, and they throw the interception, but I think the second half is really shaping up to look like some good football.
I mean, we saw it last week. It was 15-10 going into the fourth quarter. And, I think the offensive has improved this week on a short week, especially you throw in Monday night. I think you've seen both teams kind of put the clamps down inside the 25. It's like, yeah, you can't be that creative because we've pretty much seen everything.
Yeah.
But the long play's been showing up for both teams, and defense, especially for Lakeland, I think has been the most impressive point for me. They gave up the 2 big chunk plays, but outside of that, Lewiston's averaging 5 yards a play in passing.
Lakeland's defense has been locked down for sure.
Yeah, and then Lakeland, I mean, in the rushing game, they're holding Lewiston. Let me look at the numbers real quick. Yeah, they're holding them. The longest run of the night so far has been 7 yards. So a lot of negative numbers thrown in there, too, for this Lakeland defense. So doing a good job. I mean, obviously giving up the 2 trunk plays, the 43-yard pass from Top to Earl on the halfback pass, and then the 63-yard touchdown from Top on the reception from Mason Way. Lewiston, what looked dire, their defense has actually improved greatly in the second half and getting a takeaway. And then, they actually have gotten 2 takeaways in this ballgame. So Lakeland's still leading in the turnover margin, but by just one TO. So
that's going to be the biggest thing, too, I think, for me is turnovers.
Yeah.
Yeah, who doesn't turn the ball over in the second half, I think, probably is the one that walks away with this.
I think the biggest one is going to be who's got the deeper bench. Because we're starting to see attrition start to set in a little bit. You played Friday night. Everybody played that entire game both ways. You go into a Monday night Kansas tiebreaker that had to go all 5 rounds. Who's got the freshest bench? Who's got the contributors? That's where I'm going to see this come in, is who's going to come in and contribute off the bench and step in and make a couple big plays.
Yeah, no, that'll be interesting to see for sure.
So we're about 4 minutes away from the start of the third quarter, so we're going to break away for another commercial break, and we'll be back for the start of the second half of play. You're watching the Idaho High School 5A state playoffs here on IdahoSports.com and the NFHS Network.
It's that time again. Time to get the health insurance you need for next year. Open enrollment is the time for you to enroll in, renew, or change your coverage. At Your Health Idaho, you can save money with a tax credit on the plan that's best for you and your family. Don't wait. Open enrollment ends December 15th. More coverage, less cost. Only at yourhealthidaho.org. Enroll by December 15th.
Idaho's 529 can be used at any in-state or out-of-state 2- or 4-year college or university. Can be used at a trade school for an apprenticeship.
Whatever it is that your kid is interested in, that's available for them to use the funds.
I really like the flexibility. It gives Wild the opportunity to pursue a whole array of training.
So whatever your child's passion is, you can support that.
To learn more, go to idsaves.org.
We do things differently in Idaho. Sometimes we go east to find west, where muddy trails meet huckleberry smiles. Stars shine electric, and the wind smells like destiny. Sure, our traffic jams are strange, and not all our steaks are ribeyes. But wherever we go, our eyes never leave the road. Belts strapped and dreams packed, no distractions, no phones, focused. From here to there, it's who we are.
We're Valleywide Cooperative. For 100 years, we've been your first choice for residential and commercial propane, fuels, oils, and lubricants. We service HVAC, install water heaters, propane tanks, and accessories. And yes, we'll even deliver right where you need it. Because for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're Valleywide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. We're here for you.
We do things differently in Idaho. Sometimes we go east to find west, where muddy trails meet huckleberry smiles. Stars shine electric, and the wind smells like destiny. Sure, our traffic jams are strange, and not all our steaks are ribeyes. But wherever we go, our eyes never leave the road. Belts strapped and dreams packed, no distractions, no phones, focused. From here to there, it's who we are.
It's that time again.
Friday. We've got power tailgates to power game days. And a trailer backup guide. That's the champ of the ramp. Toyota Trucks. Toyota. Let's go places.
Yeah, we're back for the second half of play coming out of halftime here as both teams. We're still waiting on Lakeland. They got the longer walk out of the visitors' locker room. That is, I don't know if you got to see where they're at, Tim, but they're walking every bit of probably a third of a mile
oh my gosh.
to get over here. So, yeah, it's a little bit of a jaunt for the visitors to make their way down here. And that I know that if you look in the northeast end zone, they're working on a facility. It's going to house a home locker room and a visitor space as well, and a meeting room and storage and a whole bunch of other stuff. This facility is absolutely something else. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, no, it does not feel like we're just at a high school here. This is pretty great.
No, this facility is one of a kind in the state of Idaho, and they haven't even finished the softball and baseball complex out there either. So, I mean, and the soccer complex that's out there, it's going to be just absolutely amazing. The lights, everything that's been put in here. They've got the 70-yard practice field with the uprights and everything too. It's all turf. They're hosting state cross country across the street tomorrow. So they're going to have 10 races tomorrow at the complex. That's also where Lewis Clark State College has their cross country course as well. Busy couple days here in Lewiston between playoff football and then state cross country. And you also get state volleyball up in Coeur d'Alene and Post Falls. So North Idaho's got a lot going on.
Now, if we can just figure out how to get some state basketball up here, how about that?
Hey,
I had to throw that in.
Here. Hey, we're going to get state wrestling up here in a couple of years. So
okay.
That's something. And I'll mention, we were talking about like kind of notable players that we were mentioning that are role players fitting in nicely. The freshman, riveted area for Lakeland. He had the one big reception, but he's out there pretty much every play playing either tight end or fullback. And he is a load. I tell you what, for a freshman, he is an absolute monster of a player. Just pulling up his stats real quick. He's 5'11", 195. That boy's bigger than that. But I was talking to one of the other parents and like, oh, you think he's good at football? You should see this kid wrestle.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and he moved in from out of state before the season started. I guess he's got, he's beating everybody in the room is what I was told, which is Lakeland is a very good wrestling program, and this freshman is making himself known early, here at Lakeland High School. So keeping an eye on things. We obviously went over scores and everything going on with Sandpoint. We're keeping an eye on that game as they're leading Minico late in the waning moments of that game. And Lakeland leads by 7 here as we're about ready to start the second half of play. I want to give a shout out to some of our sponsors making these broadcasts possible. Les Schwab Tire and Rafter, proud sponsor of Lakeland High School football team. Snow season is right around the corner. Make sure to come in and have your tires checked before it's too late. Get those free pre-trip safety checks. Les Schwab Tire has the best tire warranty in America. Go Hawks. And Lakeland's going to get the football coming out of the half. Lewiston's going to have to kick it away. We saw Lewiston get a turnover on that last Lakeland drive as they were pushing it inside the 20-yard line. They were able to get the interception in the end zone. So see if Lakeland put together another nice drive. That drive, Lakeland's, that went all the way down to the 19. I believe that started at the 14-yard line,
yeah,
too.
No, it was a long drive. A long drive, and their 2-minute offense looked great. I mean, they were marching down, had some really good plays, and then just kind of a ill-advised throw into the end zone, and it resulted in an interception. And it was a great-looking drive out of Lakeland.
Think power boosters from Lewiston Bengals, So Chill Cryotherapy, Strom Electric, University Auto Sales, and A&B Foods. A little Johnny Cash on the loudspeaker. I'll accept that.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with Johnny Cash.
No, sir. So Earl's going to be kicking off for the Bengals. Trying to get numbers on the returners back there for Lakeland. Boardman back there. And it's going to be Lukey with it, trying to get around the right side. He's going to be run down. He actually lost a couple after getting a decent return there. So first down 10, Lakeland have it right at the 25-yard line. That was Broxton Lukey on the return for the Hawks. Something I'm able to do in this booth that I don't normally get to do because this window's so big. I can sit down. The little luxuries, right? A little wishbone behind Hillman. Tamagni's going to carry it on first down. Nothing doing. Loss of a yard.
That might be the first stop for a loss with Lewiston's defense on their running game right there. With
You would be correct. So second down 11. .124 and counting here in the third quarter. And the ball's on the turf, and Lewiston may have pounced on it. We'll see. There's a Hawk in there as well. Kind of hard to determine that. Both teams wearing those same yellow helmets. So Lakeland did fall on it. Loss of a couple. That was Tamagni on the fumble. He was able to fall on it. So third down and long here. Third down 13. Last time Lakeland had it with third and negative yardage, they were able to get a big play from Cash Lund for a first down. See what they're able to do here. His favorite target. He's going down the middle. Yeager was the intended receiver, but a little contact there, but no flag. Yeager was asking for the flag, but no laundry came out there.
I was kind of surprised to see Lakeland go for a deep shot like that in that situation. I thought maybe you'd see maybe one of those slant routes again or another kind of a middle setup screen, but
final from Hagerman. They win. Hagerman wins 64-20 over Potlatch in the opening round of the 2A playoffs. So fourth down, Lakeland going to punt here after the incomplete pass. Lakeland's lucky they didn't call for a legal shift there. And that ball's going to hit and roll back towards the 40-yard line, right around 39. So decent field position for the Bengals here on offense. Their first drive of the second half as Lakeland stalls out, goes 3 and out. Nice job by the Bengal defense. Excuse me. So Mason Way going to come back out in the shotgun. Top in the backfield with him. Trips over to his right side. It's going to go Earl Haynes and Wilkerson, who's in motion. And he's going to roll screen underneath. That was set up beautifully. That's close to a first down. That'd be a gain of 12. So they did give him the line to gain. That was Yoder on the reception.
Yeah, one of those guys Coach Hobart talked about trying to get a little bit more involved, and I think that might be the first time we've seen him involved on the offensive side.
It is. That is his first reception of the night. And that puts Way over the century mark. And first down play goes for 3. That was Way on the keeper.
You see every time Lakeland's coming to the ball carrier for a tackle, they're every one of them's reaching in there trying to pop that ball loose, trying to get a fumble.
So 170 yards passing, 107 yards passing for Way in the game so far. He's going to keep it over the right side this time, and he's going to hit the corner, across the 40, and then some. Across the 30, knocked out of bounds at the 29. No, they're going to say at the 30, but a nice gain there. And a pickup of 13 from Way, his longest play of the night in the running game. First down at 10. Bengals continue driving here. Just over 9 minutes left in the third quarter. Go ahead, Coach.
I'll come back.
Okay. So bunch set here. Wilkerson in motion across the formation. They're going to roll to the motion. He's going to throw back to the right side and throws it short of his intended receiver, Haynes. That was a great look, though. I like that play set up. Kind of taking the eyes of the defense one way and a little sleight of hand going back to the back side of that play.
I think if he catches that in stride, I think he's got a really good shot at a score there in the corner of the end zone. But what I was going to say earlier is, we talked about it at halftime a little bit. Lakeland's defense really only gave up 2 big chunk plays in the first half. Now you're seeing Lewiston actually having some success kind of driving the ball down the field here. So kind of a good way to start the third quarter for the Bengals.
So second down at 10 after the incompletion. Yoder in motion. They're going to hand off top, following up in the hole. Decent pickup there on second down. Cuts the distance in half and a gain of 5. So third down and 5. That'll be 4 down territory here. Although Earl's got a pretty good leg of his own.
I was just going to ask you if he's got
He's hit over 40. So Yoder in motion again. Same play. Different result this time as Lakeland's going to stand him up at the line of scrimmage for no gain. We'll bring up fourth down. Just a little outside of Coach Hobart's comfort zone. We're going for the field goal here. Would be over a 40-yarder. Or right at 40. So Haynes wide to the left. Wilkerson and Earl over to the right. Wilkerson in motion. They're going to survey here. Pressure coming. Way's going to tuck it and run, and he's going to spin. Second effort's going to be enough for the first down.
That's a great decision by Way there.
Right at the sticks. They may have to come out and measure this one. I don't know. If it's touching the yard line, it's going to be a first down, so we'll see. Yep, first down. There it is. So 5-yard pickup from Way on the ground.
I really thought for a second he was going to try to sneak a pass in there, and then he pulled it, and great second effort, spin move, and pick up a big first down.
Looked like he was going to be stood up for like a 1-yard gain. Turns it into 5 and a first down, keeping the drive alive for the Bengals. Ball at the 20-yard line. Working in the red zone here. Top over to the right side. And nothing doing. Nice job by the defense. Jace Taylor was the first to arrive and got help as the cavalry arrived behind him. Gain of 1. Tough night rushing for him. He's got 24 yards on 9 carries in the ballgame. Second down and 9. Wilkerson in motion. He's going to get in on the end around. Picks up a nice block on the outside from top, but a flag comes flying in from the outside. So he goes out of bounds after a gain of 5, but this one could be coming back. Mark that one, man. He was at IHOP serving pancakes right there on the block on the outside. Logos went final 62-12 over Oakley. Nice night from Gideon Haney, 3 touchdowns and an interception. So holding on the Bengals, it'll bring them back 10 yards from the spot. So it's going to go 2nd down and 19. .608 left here in the 3rd quarter. Steady diet of the run game thus far. Bengals on a 4-minute drive. Way surveying. He's going to get tackled and sacked from behind. From the pressure, the corner blitz from Jace Taylor.
I think he might just be lucky that he held on to the football right there.
That was a loss of 10. So 3rd and 29 coming up for the Bengals. Nice pressure dialed up from the outside from defensive coordinator, former head coach Tim Kiefer. It's a very unique defense that Lakeland runs if you watch the shifting and the movement. Sometimes line up in a 3-4. They'll shift into a 5-man front at times. Pressure coming again. Way's going to have to scramble. Has a receiver out on the near side. That's Wilkerson. Nice pickup. It's going to be 4th down still, but a flag on the play in the backfield. That could be holding on the Bengals.
Yeah, I think I just saw the official signal for a hold.
So it would have been about 4th and 9 after the 20-yard pickup. This could end up being 3rd down and a mile. They're going to be about backed up out to the stinker station in North Lewiston. Yeah, so we're looking at 3rd and 39. This is where your DBs have got to be very disciplined here. Wouldn't be surprised to see Lewiston maybe run a screen here.
That's what I'm thinking.
So 3 receivers to the left. That is a little screen to Wilkerson on the outside, trying to fight through a block. Defense is showing up, and another flag comes out, and that might have been a hold on the outside on Haynes. We'll see what the call is. Right now it's about a 10-yard gain, but this one could be coming back again to be back-to-back-to-back holding penalties. That was right in the area of Haynes out there blocking Jace Taylor. So it would be 4th down and 29 or 3rd down and 49. I mean, if I'm coach, I'm taking it just because of the fact that you back him up. You can end up getting a punt situation here if you stop him. But I think they're going to give him the 10-yard gain. So Wilkerson gains 10 on the reception. So 4th down and a mile, and the punt unit, I believe, is going to come out. I mean, do you run a fake here just because you're in no man's land? I mean, you just kind of empty out the playbook. They've seen most of it. You only got like 2 left that Lakeland probably hasn't seen over the last week. Snap is back, kick, high kick. This is trouble. That's going to hit, and Taylor still picks it up. I don't know, man. He's down on the field after running in to the Bengal defender. He's down, shaken up. Stevens on the tackle. First down and 10 for the Hawks as Taylor's going to, I think, be ushered to the sideline, and he can't come in. It's due to the hit, so official will make him leave the field of play. Maybe he got some of the beads from the turf in his eyes. You never know. But he's going to hit the sideline here and get checked out briefly. It's first down at 10. Hillman under center this time. Power eye behind him. Just good old-fashioned power football. Tamagni's going to go straight ahead, pick up close to 4 on first down. Second down at 6. Look at that specimen right behind Hillman. The two fullbacks, both over 2 bills as Lewiston flinched, but they may have been drawn off sides by movement from Lakeland. They're pointing at the left guard. We'll see if it's a offside on the offensive false start. Nope. Encroachment. Offsides on the defense, so free 5 yards. They'll bring up second down and short here. Lewiston jumped into the neutral zone. I think they're just going to run the same play they called. 2 fullbacks behind Hillman. Hillman in the eye. They're going to toss it out to Magni, trying to get the corner. First down and then some. Nice gain there. And a pickup of 7. So this is oddly similar. What we started to see later in the ball game last week is Tamagni was, little chunk plays, 1 yard, 3 yard, 4 yard in the first half. And then in the second half, it was 5, 6, 7, and then he ended up breaking a big run. Yeah. He's done that to a number of teams this year. He's a great running back. A little shifty, great vision, and a little play action thrown short intended for Yeager.
Well, and like you said earlier, with a couple of those sets with those 2 big fullbacks in front of him, that's got to make him feel pretty comfortable seeing those 2 big old boys ready to go block for him.
So Hillman opened the game. He was 11 of 12 passing, and since then, he has missed on 5 straight throws, including an interception. Second down and 10. They're going to hand off to Magni, straight ahead, shot out of a cannon. Nice gain on second down. Bring up third down and 5. Just went over halfway to 100 yards in the ballgame rushing. Lewiston's been doing a good job bottling him up. Third down, 5 yards to go. Power eye behind Hillman. Toss to Magni, looking for a lane. Runs into the entire Lewiston defense, no gain, and it'll bring up fourth down. Do you get a little greedy there, Coach?
I don't know. I don't know.
Bagley got a nice push up the middle. Yoder sealed off the edge, and nice shot by the Bengal defense. That was number 8, Brennan Rice, that kind of finally cleaned things up.
Yeah, I think if you're Lakeland, he's a heck of a running back, and you got a good offensive line. I don't think that's a terrible play call.
Hillman back to punt. That was offsides. You saw that coming, and almost like arena ball. The motion man just gets an early jump coming across the line before the snap, so it'll bring up fourth down at 10. They'll redo the punt. Wilkerson's going to be back to return for the Bengals. And the Hillman kick Going to hit and go sky high, take a nice Lakeland bounce right in the hands of Wilkerson, who kind of does the same thing Jace Taylor did, pick it up at no man's land and run it. Pick it up about 3 on the return, so it'll be Lewiston football at the 25-yard line.
I'm not even the coach, and those 2 plays just give me a little bit of high blood pressure.
Trying to help the average, but it's bad for the blood pressure. Lake Sport Physical Therapy in Lewiston, proud supporter of Lewiston Athletics, and wants to wish the Bengals best of luck tonight. With over 100 years of combined experience, the team at Sport Physical Therapy Clinic committed to helping patients heal and improve their physical health. 2 convenient locations in Lewiston, and their goal is to provide patients with individualized, excellent care in a friendly environment. So Mason Way and the offense comes back out after a whole heap of holding penalties on the last drive that looked promising and ended in a punt and incompletion on first down. Trying to throw a quick hitter to Wilkerson, falls incomplete. Second down to 10, just the 11th attempt. From Mason Way. So Haynes wide to the left. It means all the way out to the numbers. Ball's on the left hash. Wilkerson's the man in motion. They're going to throw a screen underneath. Yoder's got it, and he's going to pick up about 8 yards on second down. I'll bring up third down and short. He picked up 12 the last time, the same exact play. They went to that favorable spot there, but you can give the man 9. So third and short here. Top of the backfield. 45 seconds left and counting here in the third quarter. Top's got it. Going towards the line of scrimmage, and he might be just short. We'll see. He needs to get to the 35, and he's at the 34. So no gain on the play. Tough sledding inside for the Bengals. So fourth down. Coach appears he's going to go for it here as the Bengals are down 7 with 4 seconds to count. I think they're just going to hold for the quarter, and they will. So at the end of 3, Lakeland still leads 21-14. We go to the final quarter of play. We'll be back here in 45 seconds on IdahoSports.com.
So, what's next? Your path doesn't have to look like theirs. You can do this, or this, or this. Check out in-demand jobs in Idaho and get up to $8,000 to find your thing.
We do things differently in Idaho. Sometimes we go east to find west, where muddy trails meet huckleberry smiles, stars shine electric, and the wind smells like destiny. Sure, our traffic jams are strange, and not all our steaks are ribeyes. But wherever we go, our eyes never leave the road. Belts strapped and dreams packed, no distractions, no phones, focused. From here to there, it's who we are.
And we're back, and some score updates. Sandpoint defeats Minico 28-21. So Sandpoint's going to move on to face Bishop Kelly in the quarterfinals. I think it's just, a great game, but both these teams needed to be separated, in my opinion, these two teams, because I think the IEL 5A could have represented very well this year in the playoffs. As Lakeland comes sailing across the line of scrimmage, first down Bengals as they draw them off sides. I don't even know if they had a play call other than, hey, we're just going to hard count it and probably call a timeout.
Yeah, that's what my gut tells me.
So fourth and short turns into 1st and 10 after the penalty, the offsides on Lakeland. Ball in the left hash. Mason Way in the shotgun, top next to him. 2 receivers to each side. In tight. Handoff top, little reverse, little flea flicker once again. Earl was wide open down the middle, and they hit top across the 45 down to the 38-yard line.
It's the same opening play, and once again, I don't know if he even saw Earl. He was so wide open. I don't even know if his quarterback
Earl was
saw
by
him.
himself standing on the 20, like twiddling his thumbs. Gain of 27.
It was kind of one of those plays. They ran it so early and kind of a trickery play. Lakeland probably didn't think they'd ever come back to that.
Handoff this time, and that's Wilkerson coming around the right side. Runs through an arm tackle and ends up picking up 5 yards on first down. His first carry of the night. Give him 4 yards on the carry. So top on the night, 2 receptions for 90 yards and a touchdown. Play action. Way throws back to Yoder on the out route. Nice pickup. Runs through a defender into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. 34 yards from Way to Yoder for the touchdown. And the Bengals are within 1. Waiting the Earl PAT, and the kick is up and through. We're all knotted at 21 with 10:32 left in the ball game. Don't go anywhere, folks. This one's, if it's anything like we saw last week and then on Monday, like we're in for a treat for the end of this one. Lewiston's got the light show going.
Don't get this experience at a lot of high school football stadiums, do you, Ryan?
No, you do not. So I call a great playoff game and maybe give myself a seizure. Went to Lewiston to watch a high school playoff game, and all I got was a seizure. Yeah, so kickoff coming from the Bengals after the touchdown. 34 yards from Way to Yoder with the equalizer. 10:32 left to play. And Earl's kick's going to be fielded about the 10-yard line. And Lakeland's going to be right out to the 25 to start things off on offense. Well, the crowd wasn't in it. They're in it now. Lewiston's been getting stops on defense and turning stops into touchdowns. Thank our sponsor, Northwest Paint and Body, for the best auto body experience around, including collision repair, painting, and framework. Stop by 6220 East Commerce Loop in Post Falls or give them a call, 208-664-6635. Northwest Paint and Body, proud supporters of Lakeland Athletics, and good luck in tonight's ball game. Hillman's going to pass on first down. Has a man over the left side, across the 40, down to the 46-yard line. Nice gain on first down to pick up 21. That was to Cash Lund. He was the man last year when Lakeland played Valley View in the first round that saved the game on a tackle, but also had a huge kind of drive-sealing reception for the Hawks as well that kept a drive alive. Tamagni on the carry, pickup of 7 on first down.
It's another real impressive, patient run by him. He stuck his hand out, got on the back of one of his big lead blockers there, and yeah, just he's a fun running back to watch.
So Lund, 4 receptions, 67 yards in the ball game so far. Second down at 3. Tamagni again over the left side. He's met in the backfield, and loss of 2 on the play from the Bengal defense. So third down coming up for the Hawks. 3rd and 5. Three receivers to the narrow side of the field, short side, as there's a shift coming back this way. Hillman's going to pass out over to Yeager. Yeager's met at the line of scrimmage for no gain on the play, bring up 4th down. So your Bengal territory at the 48-yard line. We see Coach Schroeder go for it here.
I really think he's going to. A strong chance I'm wrong. Yeah, I was wrong. Gonna put a little faith in his defense.
So 112 yards passing in the game for Hillman, but he's gonna have to punt it away here. And the kick is good. It's a high spiral. It's going to hit inside the 15 and take a Lakeland bounce and be fielded by Wilkerson. Dances through one defender, and he's finally swung down and dropped at the 13-yard line. We Lewiston football. We got a penalty flag on the play. This is a hold on Lewiston on the return. It's going to be, what, a half the distance to the goal? Put them inside the 10.
I still haven't even seen an indication from the officials of what this call is.
The meeting of the minds occurring at the 42-yard line. And they're going to go talk to Coach Hobart here. Still no signal. Face mask, I think, is what Zane just signaled. Or illegal hands to the face. So face mask on Lakeland. 15 yards from the end of the kick. So what was inside the 15 is now going to be brought up 15 yards. Ball's going to be right around the 27, I believe. 28-yard, no, 29. There we go. So first down at 10 Bengals. See if home field advantage can be a little bit more favorable to the Bengals. Little option look on the outside. Way's going to keep it, and he's going to pick up maybe a foot. They're going to have the nose of the football just shy of the 30-yard line. Eighth carry on the night, 15 yards for Way rushing in this ball game. Way gets a snap. He's going to keep it. He's met right in the backfield by Cash Lund. Tackle for loss. Loss of 4. Bring up third down and long. Cash Lund is the Swiss Army knife, man. I mean, that kid lines up anywhere and just plays with his hair on fire.
Wow, and he shot through the line of scrimmage so quick. I even shocked me when I saw him stand way up there in the backfield.
So Way in the shotgun. Third down and long. He's going to chuck it long. He's got Earl in step, and he had Jace Taylor all over him and laundry everywhere, and that'll be a first down on the pass interference. I mean, it doesn't get more obvious than that when you look at Earl, and he's got his the top of his shoulder pads. The shield is hanging out of his jersey. I mean, that was actually probably pretty smart by Taylor. He was beat and knew it.
Just save a touchdown.
Save a touchdown. That's a senior making a heads-up play when you get beat off the line of scrimmage. So first down at 10 for the Bengals, what could have been a touchdown. 5:58 left in the ball game. Two receivers to the left, two backs in the backfield with Way. Handoff straight ahead. That's Top, picks up 1. And we got a little scrap going on this near side. Some jawing back and forth between Earl and Taylor. Second down and 8 coming. Top 11 carries 26 yards in the ball game tonight. Winner of this game goes on to play Hillcrest next week in Ammon. Way's going to pass it here. They're going to take a shot. He's surveying. He's looking. Pressure coming from behind. He's going to end up scrambling and slides to the turf and picks up 3. It'll bring up third down and 5. As Steinborg, kind of the rush end, checks out. Nate Bavakwa, the sophomore, checks in for him. The run stuffer. Third and 5. Two receivers to the short side of the field. Wilkerson in motion across the formation, and we got a timeout on the play. So Lewiston's going to take a timeout. We're going to thank our friends at Andy's Heating and Cooling and understand the importance of a fully functioning and efficient air conditioning system. That's why their goal is to provide only the best services coupled with great customer service, integrity, and honesty to every one of their customers. Serving all of North Idaho for over 50 years, Andy's is a name that you can trust. Give them a call today, 208-772-4570. Check out Northwest Paint and Body for the best auto body services around, including collision repair, painting, and framework. Stop by their Location at 6220 East Commerce Loop in Post Falls, or give them a call, 208-664-6635. Northwest Paint and Body, proud supporters of Lakeland Athletics. And good luck tonight in tonight's ballgame. Sport Physical Therapy, proud supporter of Lewiston Athletics, and wants to wish the Bengals the best of luck tonight. With over 100 years of combined experience, the team at Sport Physical Therapy Clinic is committed to helping patients heal and improve their physical health. They have 2 convenient locations in Lewiston. Their goal is to provide patients with individualized, excellent care in a friendly environment. Mason Way in the shotgun. 2 receivers to each side as Wilkerson's in motion. Way's going to look Wilkerson's way. Way's going to have to continue to scramble. He's going to finally let it fly. He's got a couple receivers a receiver in the vicinity, but 2 defenders. As Earl slips to the turf and goes incomplete, brings up 4th down. Whole lot going on with not much of a result there.
Yeah, I don't know what. To me, it looked like Way had the edge there, and if he would have just ran the ball, I think he would have got at least a first down or close enough to justify going for it on 4th. And
I think he was hearing footsteps, but it doesn't mean that they were actually there.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been scrambling like that and being chased down so much tonight. Maybe he just assumed that there was pressure coming, but there actually wasn't. So snap, and the Yoder kick is up. Taylor's going to let it bounce, and it's going to take a Bengal hop inside the 15. It's going to be down right at the 10-yard line. So Lakeland's going to go 90 yards with 4:18 left in the ball game, tied up 21-21.
I don't like to bring this up for the Bengal fans, but if you're a Lakeland fan, you're going to kind of go back to that last regular season game and what happened with 4 minutes left in that one. They scored 3 touchdowns.
There's been a little bit of a defensive resolution, I think, from Lewiston. They've figured some things out.
I would agree. Well, in your 3rd meeting, you'd hope you'd figured it out. So
first down at 10. They got to go 90 if they're going to hope to come away with a victory here. Trips to the left side, single receiver out to the right. Tamagni in the backfield, Hillman at the 5-yard line. He's going to throw on first down, throws it to Lukey. That was lucky it wasn't picked, but a nice gain on first down. Pick up 6, give him some breathing room. Actually give him 8 on the reception. .120 yards passing for Hillman on the night. 3.5 miles running between the huddle and the sideline carrying plays. Trips to the left. Drops back, serving, pressure up the middle. He's going to let it fly and over the head of everyone. Incomplete. He was looking for Yeager, but overthrew him by a good 3-4 yards. So 3rd and 2. I mean, if I'm coach, I think I know what I'm dialing up right here. You got a bell cow back behind you. Bring in some beef, and I think you can get a couple yards. Lewiston's done a good job stuffing the run tonight.
Yeah, I'm like you. I think you can really just try to hammer it straight ahead here.
Bagley's done a good job up inside for the Bengals, the nose. And Hillman's going to actually pass out to Taylor on the wide side. He's going to have the first down and get knocked out of bounds. No flags on the play, so first down after the 6-yard reception from Jace Taylor. So fresh set of downs coming up for Lakeland. 3:23 as the clock stopped on the out of bounds. Hillman looking, he's going to chuck it down the middle. Yeager in stride over the hands of his intended receiver. He had a step on Hepburn and just threw it too long. Incomplete.
It looked like he maybe kind of just tripped on the toe of his cleat or something. He kind of
Had a hitch.
Just, yeah, a little hitch right there. I think if it wasn't for that, I think he scores 6.
Yeager, the 6'2", 6'3" wideout out there for the Hawks. 6'4", I stand corrected. So Hillman in the shotgun, Tamagni in the backfield. They have not ran the ball yet. They're going to throw again. There's Cash Lund once again on the reception. Picks up 3, maybe 4 on the play. That'll be a 4-yard gain. Gonna bring up 3rd down and 6. So 3rd down. Called 6 yards here, long 5. 2:45 and counting. Clock continues to run here in the 4th quarter. Got a tie ball game. Pass over left side. Close to the line again. Yeager with the second effort might have gotten the distance. He is right at the sticks with the spot, and I think that's going to be enough for a Lakeland 1st down. I see the sticks moving, so he needed about 5.5, and he got a pure 6 for the 1st down. And on 1st down, a completion over the left side, a gain of 3 to Jace Taylor.
Here's where Lakeland had some success in the first half, going to this 2-minute offense and marched right down the field.
So no huddle, 3 receivers to the right, Tamagni in the backfield. Hillman's going to throw once again. Patient, he's going to have to roll, pressure's there, and he's going to be sacked at the 25-yard line. A loss of 14. So 3rd down and long here, and a timeout from Coach Schroeder. It's Lakeland, yes, that was a Lakeland timeout, so each team 2 timeouts left. 1:39 left in the ball game. I don't want to say it. We've seen everything from these teams. Do we get an OT?
I kind of feel like this 3 game and 7 day. Why not? I mean, it kind of just add that's like the cherry on top, right? It would not shock me, Ryan, especially now that you've brought it up.
I was thinking it with about 3.5 left. I'm like, what if the thing goes to overtime? I don't want to say it, but yeah, here we stand. I mean, realistically, it could happen.
It's all right with me when it's toasty in here where we're at.
Yeah.
I'm not cold or anything.
Comfortable. I took my coat off. I'm sitting by an open window. I mean, it's like Palm Springs in here.
We better not talk about this too much. They might not let us come back.
That's right.
And send us off to someplace
Spoiled.
really cold.
Yeah. And Brandon's like, oh, you like that? Yeah, you're going to go outside at Priest River next week. Here you go. So 3rd down and long. Hillman dropping back, surveying, looking, going to throw out to his left, in and out of the hands of the intended receiver. He was looking for Yeager. And that's going to bring up 4th down and a Lakeland punt. I don't know if I've ever seen Hillman throw it this much in a game. He's had 27 attempts.
You know, I haven't watched Lakeland as much as you have, but to me it kind of even felt like they kind of got away from what they're good at.
Completely abandoned. They didn't run the ball one single time on that entire drive. Hillman's kick is blocked. And it's going to take a hop, and Lewiston's going to fall in with excellent field position inside the 40 at the 36-yard line with 1:28 to go and 2 timeouts.
That's a big-time play. I didn't see who blocked it, but that was a big-time play.
I think that was number 13 for the Bengals on the block.
Trip Eckert?
Trip Eckert, the junior. So 1:28 and the ball game here. Lewiston with it in Lakeland territory. Lakeland with their back against the wall. 2 timeouts for each team. Coming up at the conclusion, we'll have your IdahoSports.com player of the game. Brought to you by the Idaho Office of Highway Safety. Screen coming. Way throws it underneath to Yoder. Yoder's going to pick up 4 on first down. Four receptions in the game for Yoder. 59 yards. 181 yards passing in the game for Way. They're going to throw over to the right side out of the outstretched hands of Top. Incomplete will bring up third down. That could have been big.
Yeah, they'd like to have that one back for sure.
51 seconds. We're under a minute left to play. Third down, 6 yards to go.
I guess you got to be thinking a little bit too. If you got to be thinking getting into field goal
You're about
distance.
10 yards, I think,
Yeah.
before coach would pull a trigger on a field goal attempt. I was just going to say that. You read my mind. Like, you got a kicker. You can win it with a kicker. Or get some bonus ball. You never know. Or just go get a touchdown right here and win it. So 3 receivers out to the right. Top of the backfield with Way. Way's going to get the snap. He's looking out to his right. And incomplete. That, if I'm telling you, if Cooper turns his head around right there, that's a pick six instead of an incompletion. That ball was behind the line of scrimmage. I think that was totally fine.
It's
We were just frustrated because it's 4th down and 6 here with 46 seconds left to play. Lewiston had it in the tiebreaker, a similar situation. They were 4th down and long, and they went for it. They were able to pick up the yardage, keep their drive alive against Lakeland in the opening tiebreaker. Way with it, looking, pressure coming. May have been a hold. He got away with it, and he's sacked right there at the 40-yard line. Turnover on downs. It'll be Lakeland football with 41 seconds left and 2 timeouts. That is a loss of 7. And the Lewiston crowd just went silent.
Yeah, you just almost feel the air sucked out of it. It just.
So Lakeland's going to get the ball on the turnover on downs. Ball at the 40. They got to go 60. They do have a kicker, too. I mean, realistically, if you can get it 35 yards, you got yourself a chance to get a kick here. Hillman in the shotgun. Will screen underneath. That's Jace Taylor looking over to the right side across midfield. He's going to get run out of bounds inside Lewiston territory at the 44, 43-yard line. And a nice pickup on first down. That's a gain of 17.
Yeah, with 32 seconds left, you feel now like you're just 1 or 2 plays here from being within field goal range and a chance to win it.
.156 yards passing on the night for Hillman. Hillman looking, pressure coming. He's got to get rid of it. And he throws it into the turf, incomplete. It'll be 26 seconds left in the game. 2 timeouts still. Bring up second down. High drama football here. Probably the last game going in the state of Idaho as well. So 26 seconds. Knotted at 21. Sterling, the kicker, I believe this year as long as 44 yards. 3 receivers to the left. Tamagni's going to get it on the pass. They're going to swing it out to him. Runs through an arm tackle. He's in space across the 30, down to the 27-yard line. And a timeout quickly from the Lakeland sideline. It's a gain of 15 yards.
They had a chance to get him down right away, and it's like you said, he went right through an arm tackle and just about made him completely pay.
171 yards passing now in the ball game for Hillman. So after this one, we'll have stats for you. The IdahoSports.com player of the game. Set up the playoff picture for you. 18 seconds left. Lakeland's got 1 timeout. Lewiston has 2. First down at 10, ball at the 27. The 28-yard line. 28-yard line for the Lakeland Hawks in Lewiston territory. 18 seconds left in the game. 2 receivers to each side. Hillman in the shotgun. He's going to drop back to pass. Looking. Has time. He's going to let it fly. He's got Yeager. In and out of the hands. Incomplete. Almost a touchdown. 11 seconds left. Lewiston just dodged a bullet.
Oh, huge break for Lewiston right there. Yeah, he had that catch.
So it's a cold night, too. I mean, not easy to kick. I'm just kind of thinking here, do you try to cut the distance in half and go for the game-winning field goal? You got a timeout left, so you can get some yardage, get a timeout, get your kicker out there and try to win it on the foot of Sterling.
I think that was probably their last chance right at the end zone, probably.
So Hillman here, he's going to throw. Yeager in and out of the hands, incomplete. It's going to bring up 3rd down with 8 seconds left. I still think you got time here.
Yeah.
You can take one more shot, try to get 8-9 yards, get out of bounds.
Yeah, it'll have to be quick and somebody quick on a timeout if he doesn't get out of bounds, but
Lewiston will definitely probably try to ice the kicker. Eight seconds left. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Tamagni in the backfield with Hillman. Hillman dropping back, looking, throwing quick, and incomplete. It's going to bring up 4th down. This is your chance right here. I mean, you're going to probably have to, I don't know, 4 seconds left. It's a long attempt.
A long field goal, yeah.
Ty, what's that distance? 46? So we got a timeout on the field. 44, maybe 46-yard attempt, depending where you put the spotter or the holder.
You thought his long was about 44, so
yeah,
right,
but that was also
in that.
early in the year.
Yeah, warmer air,
warm football.
Yeah.
I mean, you take an attempt. I think. You know, what's the worst that happens?
Yeah,
I mean, a block, obviously.
Yeah.
That would be pretty disastrous.
Yeah, if you try to throw a pass in the end zone, you risk a possible pick 6 or a sack and a fumble, you know, but
hook and lateral.
Yeah, something crazy. Yeah. Well, it looks like they're bringing them out.
You try to get, like, your sure-handed receiver, you hit maybe London, you get the extra little lateral. They're going to go for the field goal attempt.
Yep.
Here it is.
45 yards.
45-yard field goal attempt with 4 seconds left. 4th down. Sterling is back to kick. He's like, no, you got to give me that extra foot. I can move that thing forward. Here we go for the chance to move on to play Hillcrest. Jace Taylor, the holder. Sterling, the kicker. The snap. The kick is up. It is not going to have the distance. And now we are going to go to OT. Here we go. Bonus ball. We were here Monday. Why not? You know the rules. So we're going to get a timeout as we roll into the overtime period. We'll have a coin toss and everything else. But why not between these two teams?
Yeah, this is.
You've had everything
fitting.
else.
Pretty fitting.
So 3-minute break in between the overtime session. I want to thank our sponsor, Andy's Heating and Cooling. Understand the importance of a fully functioning and efficient air conditioning system. That is why their goal is to provide only the best services coupled with great customer service, integrity, and honesty to every single one of their customers. Serving all of North Idaho for over 50 years, Andy's is a name you can trust. Give them a call today, 208-772-4570. Take a break. We're going to take a minute. We'll come on back. We'll be back. We need a chance to catch our air. We'll be back for overtime here in Lewiston. You're watching the 5A state playoffs on IdahoSports.com and NFHS Network.
Okay, listen up. Right now, teens in Idaho have a higher than normal percentage of fatal car crashes. We're 2.6 times more likely to be in a crash. Why? Data shows we're not buckling up, not driving sober, speeding, and getting distracted by that little device we love to hate. So what are we going to do about it? It's time to buckle up, drive sober, slow down, and put our dang phone down. I mean, duh. Join the movement. Search Shift Idaho Teen to learn more.
We're Valley-wide cooperative. For 100 years, we've been your first choice for residential and commercial propane, fuels, oils, and lubricants. We service HVAC, install water heaters, propane tanks, and accessories. And yes, we'll even deliver right where you need it. Because for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're Valley-wide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. We're here for you.
And we're back as we approach overtime. That's right, bonus ball. State playoff edition. I mean, between these two teams, you've seen everything this year. Like, let's do this again. I mean, we were just here Monday, so, like, why not?
A little free football. Halloween night.
Yeah.
There isn't a full moon, is there?
It would only make sense if there was,
wouldn't
but
it?
yeah. So we'll have a coin toss as they're going to bring captains out into midfield to settle this overtime period. We'll see which end we get to go on, but what a fantastic game. And the one thing I just noticed during the break, Lakeland hasn't scored since the first quarter. Lewiston has absolutely had Lakeland's number defensively the rest of this ballgame. Lakeland went out to the 21-0 lead, and it looked like it was going to be a boat race. And Lewiston has just absolutely scratched and clawed and fought their way back into this one. They were trailing by 7 at halftime. They got the touchdown in the third quarter.
Well, it's kind of one of those things that I didn't even really think about that until you brought it up. And, you know, it doesn't feel like they haven't scored, but you're right. And Lewiston's even kind of taken Lakeland a little bit out of what they do. They've thrown the ball so much more here in the fourth quarter. And, I mean, at times it was absolutely needed, but you just kind of feel like they've kind of changed their game plan a little bit.
32 passing attempts for Lakeland. I don't know, I mean, like, what the school record is. It's with the history of running the wing tee for, like, 40 years. And then, you know, last year and this year they're throwing. This might be a school record for attempts in a game at Lakeland. I don't know the last time a Lakeland team has thrown the ball 32 times in a game. And they haven't ran the ball. They have not ran the ball in 2 consecutive series. Like, that's just not, like, for me, I'm not questioning it. Because I think in the positions that you were in, you had to throw the ball. But you've got Griffin Tamagni, one of the best running backs in 5A football. Like, I mean, we're going to see him here.
Yeah.
You know, you're inside 25 shooting it in.
Well, and as you had said earlier, it seems like, you know, throughout games, he builds on those runs. He's 3 and 4 or 5 yards to begin with. Then he's 8, 9, and 10, and then all of a sudden he's breaking them. And
yeah, and he just started to kind of get in a groove, and then they just started chucking the ball. So, I mean, interesting. You know, obviously at the conclusion of this game, we'll have your IdahoSports.com player of the game, brought to you by the Idaho Office of Highway Safety. This is the last game in the state of Idaho going on right now, folks. Like, I don't know what you're doing, but, like, this should be it. So, Halloween night, Lewiston and Lakeland, they've been battling neck and neck. You know, last year's game was a just absolute breakneck, kind of a frenetic pace at the end. Lakeland ended up coming back into that one and winning it going away. And then this year, Lakeland ends up, you know, with Lewiston 15-10 with 4:29. Lakeland goes on, pours it on in the fourth quarter with 4 minutes left and wins that one. They go to the tiebreaker, goes to the final frame. here we are again, OT, right? This is kind of like high school legend type stuff here. As Lewiston's going to go to the left end zone. They're going to go in the north end zone. Bengals will be on offense first. Lakeland will be on defense. And actually, the ball goes to the 10-yard line, not the 25. So 10-yard line. They can kick a PAT if they score a touchdown. And we're going to start with a timeout right off the bat.
Looked like Lakeland had somebody come on the field late, maybe? Is that?
I think that was the case, as Cash Lund was running off the sideline. I mean, both teams, just you talk about the warriors they've had on the field in this one, and Way's going to keep it on first down, running straight ahead, and he's going to pick up 2. So it'll be second down and goal from the 8. Will Pete on the tackle. "12 carries, 9 yards for Way in the ball game." It's just that type of game, folks. Second and 8. Way in the shotgun, Top in the backfield with him. Way's going to pass here. He's going to throw to the corner, and he's going to throw incomplete. It'll bring up third down. He was looking for Haynes. Siler Bauer was over there in coverage. Brings up third down. Untimed downs here. So Lewiston gets a crack at it, then it's Lakeland's turn. Lakeland, I mean, best case scenario is you're looking to either get a stop here or force a field goal.
Mm-hmm.
2 receivers out to the left. Earl wide, Wilkerson in the slot. Way's going to keep it and throw it, and he's got a touchdown. That was Yoder coming across on the drag route for the touchdown from 8 yards out.
That's about the 3rd or 4th time they've connected on that same play to Yoder.
I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, get a little bit of kind of misdirection and drag him across the opposite way, and great play call there by the Bengals.
5 catches, 66 yards, and 2 touchdowns in the ballgame for Yoder. And a little bit of a busted play there. They're trying to run to the edge. And it's going to be stopped. That is a big stop. That is a huge stop for the Hawks. So now Lakeland, if they can match the touchdown and get the PAT, they're going to come out of here with a win.
That's just got to give you, one of Lewiston's coaches, just a very sick feeling in your stomach at the moment.
Chugging my Lanta on the sideline right now. So Lakeland's going to get the opportunity from the 10-yard line this time after they stopped Lewiston on the busted PAT attempt. That was an 8-yard touchdown pass from Way to Yoder. So here comes Lakeland on offense. A turnover, it's over. A stop, it's over. If touchdown and an extra point, and Lakeland wins. Hillman in the shotgun. He's going to toss to Magni over the right side. Gets to the corner. He's in! Touchdown, Lakeland! Just like that. One play. That's all it took. So PAT pending, and Lakeland can get out of here and make the trip to play Hillcrest next week. Unbelievable. One play, 10 yards, touchdown. 67 yards rushing in the game. 3 touchdowns for Griffin Tamagni in the ball game. If they get the PAT here, I know who's getting the IdahoSports.com player of the game. What an unbelievable game, folks. Oh, my goodness. So Sterling on the PAT. Maybe see an ice hit here, and there it is. You can't take the timeouts home with you, so you might as well spend them. Take a deep breath, collect yourself. 27-all, waiting the point after touchdown from Sterling. I don't believe in jinxes much, but I'm not going to say anything, so just hold my tone. Lakeland's got a great kicker back there. Lewiston's been getting pressure on special teams, though. They blocked a PAT last week, so we'll see what they do here. Snap back, kick is up, and it is good! Lakeland wins in overtime, 28-27. They will move on to play Hillcrest. Yeah, that's a Freudian slip there. They will move on to get the rematch with Hillcrest next week. What an unbelievable ball game, folks. And Lewiston's season comes to an end. And I tell you what, these two teams, you talk about even matchups within the IEL, it doesn't get any closer than this. What an unbelievable ball game we had tonight. Hats off to both teams. Yeah. I mean, they just absolutely gave Herculean efforts, trading haymakers back and forth. So I think we can kind of make it a given, but make sure we give some love for our IdahoSports.com player of the game, brought to you by the Idaho Office of Highway Safety. Reminding you to always keep your head in the game, whether you're on the field or on the road. Be in the moment and free from distractions. I mean, Sterling did a great job there being free from distractions, making that PAT for the win.
He was.
But our IdahoSports.com player of the game, I mean, he's not going to shock you in the stat column as far as rushing yards, 67 yards, but 3 touchdowns on the night from Griffin to Magni, the junior running back for Lakeland. That is your IdahoSports.com player of the game.
No doubt.
I mean, you don't get much better than that, like high drama, overtime in the state playoffs.
Yeah.
Survive and advance is the name of the games. You win ugly. And the Lakeland Hawks took care of that.
It's one of those games you feel bad for whoever loses that game because it was good. It was good football. And, kind of just the way it had to come down to an extra point didn't really match the intensity of the whole game. But, congratulations to Lakeland and congratulations to Lewiston on their great season, and both teams can leave here, I think, with their heads held high.
Yeah. So Lakeland wins 28-27 in overtime, and they're going to take on Hillcrest next weekend in the quarterfinals. They played each other last year in the semifinals. Lakeland led like 85% of that ball game last year. Lakeland, I was talking to a couple of the kids after last week after the tiebreaker, Monday after the tiebreaker. They're like, we don't care where we play. We don't care who we play. We just know we want Hillcrest.
Want Hillcrest, yeah.
And so they scratch and clawed and fought their way in, and they ended up picking up the victory tonight over a phenomenal effort from that Lewiston team, especially the defensive adjustments they made after the first quarter. So your final, Lakeland 28, Lewiston 27. I want to thank my partner in the booth tonight, Coach Tim Silflo, joining me in this ball game. Stay tuned this week for Gem State Game Day. We're going to break down all of the brackets, 6A to 1A, who's playing where, what time. We're going to give the matchups, even some prognostications out there as well. So stay tuned for that. That's going to come up on Tuesday evening on IdahoSports.com. What a phenomenal ball game. Lakeland wins. Our IdahoSports.com player of the game, Griffin Tamagni, the 10-yard touchdown to win it in overtime with the PAT. Just a great job. This broadcast made possible with the great support of our power boosters for Lewiston. We'll go through them. So Chill Cryotherapy, Strom Electric, University of Auto Sales, A&B Foods, also sponsor Sport Physical Therapy. Les Schwab Tire in Rathdrum, Andy's Heating and Cooling, Northwest Paint and Body, and everybody here at IdahoSports.com. I'm just kind of speechless. What a phenomenal ball game that we had
great.
tonight
Yeah,
in this
game.
one. Special thanks to the athletic director and everybody and the good folks here at Lewiston for putting us up in this beautiful facility, the P1FCU Athletic Complex here at Lewiston High School. What a phenomenal place this is to play.
Yeah,
and congratulations to Lakeland on the victory.
Yes, yeah. No, I was just going to say, if you haven't had a chance to check this facility out, get here to take in a game. It is a beautiful, beautiful facility.
So this has been an IdahoSports.com GameStreams production of the 2025 Idaho High School Football Playoffs on the NFHS Network. This postseason broadcast is brought to you by Project Filter, your local Toyota dealer, Your Health Idaho, Next Steps Idaho, Ideal Idaho College Savings Program, the Idaho Bowl, Valley-Wide Cooperative, and the Idaho Office of Highway Safety. Lakeland wins 28-27 over Lewiston. For Tim Silflo, I'm Ryan Skaggs. Be sure to join us next week for the quarterfinal round of the state playoffs right here on IdahoSports.com and the NFHS Network.